Are we like recording an episode today? What?
Wait, what?
We are?
Oh my gosh.
Since
Wait, I'm in a
when?
podcast right now? What?
What's
All
happening?
right. We all good?
Who are you people?
Alrighty, and welcome back to another episode of Hunt Lowdown, the podcast for a fellow four-star. I am Baldo, as usual, here with my co-host Drake.
Hello.
We're talking heads today,
We are.
and we have a little bird friend today, little crow. He's got a
Hello?
hat. That's Third. He's here. It's
We have a
great.
guest
We're
today.
doing.
That is me.
It is the third side of things, otherwise known as unit.
Wait, do I call you Third or Unit then? I've been calling you Third.
Third's fine.
Whichever's preference. One's a nickname, the other's my name.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Third because I'm used to it. So
Yeah, that's what I know him by.
Yeah, most people know me by third.
fabulous. So how's stuff going for you two?
Good. Good. I haven't played a lot of Hunt lately, though. It's not a good sign.
Did you
Yeah.
do the finish the event burnout?
Yes.
Yeah.
Unintentionally. But
Yeah, I played a little bit because there's been a couple guns that like have been adjusted or like some of the new ones. So I'm like, oh, I want to play with these some,
yeah.
and I can actually play them because I'm not doing weekly quests.
The weekly is the thing I tend to hop on for nowadays.
Seriously?
And for
I'm
some,
the
and,
opposite.
and
Like,
it's also
eh.
to do something with Tom, since like he's got a job now and he can only play on the weekends.
Yeah, that's fair. I've been playing a bit of Power World or I've been painting a lot because we have a Warhammer thing coming up, so I've been trying to meet that deadline
Power
with a lot
World.
of stuff.
I've been in
Yeah.
that Pal World boat too. It's way too good of a game.
I enjoy it. I
I've been
enjoy it thoroughly.
convinced. I've been convinced to try it. Should I ever happen upon the game, I'm probably not going to spend the money myself to get it. But
I'd very much like to
Very
play
fair.
with you on Thursday, but we'll see. It's I like that you can kind of play it as, hey, it's like a weird like little adventure game with some little buddies, or you can play it as like I'm a walking Geneva Convention violation, which is a fun.
Geneva
It's a
suggestion.
fun thing to have the choice.
The Geneva checklist.
Yeah.
And so I've been enjoying having like little Pokemon follow me around and all that. It's great. So, but yeah,
Fair.
anybody got any fun, exciting things they want to cover before, or do you want to just jump into it? Because I know we have a chunky episode today.
No, I got nothing really going on. Third?
Yeah, I
Okay.
don't got much either.
Yeah, let's just pop into it then. So the quest this week was, we've had a lot of events lately, and we've kind of had a variety since they've introduced the concept of events. From the first one being 2 days, get some gubbins, to, hey, this one we're introducing a boss or a new map. And with that, we were like, hey, this is a main way of getting new content now. So, if you were in charge, how would you design an event? And as it's very open-ended, we kind of tweaked it slightly. So the first event is, hey, you have basically like a very short amount of time. You can't really introduce anything massive. Like, you can't be like, this is the new map event. It's take mechanics and stuff that kind of exist, and like, how would you tweak them to be a fun event? And then the second one is go freaking nuts, whatever the heck you want, pretty much. So yeah, does anybody want to kick it off?
Well, if anything, probably you, because I'm unprepared and third is over prepared. So
Yeah. I think it might be best for me to go last.
Okay. I will say I've kind of cheated in a way, because what I did is I almost designed mine like you know how it like the tides of shadows, tides of desolation,
right, the aesthetic
tides
of the
it's
actual
really
event.
rainy.
Yeah.
So I've done mine, and I've themed mine. They've been doing kind of like the boss theming, so I'm like, let's jump off of that. So mine is like, the first one would be themed around the 3 OG bosses, and we've talked about making the pacts kind of a little bit more I guess getting more investment in them. And so each one of my packs is themed around a status effect. So we have the Poison Pact, the Fire Pact, and the Bleed Pact. And you submit to each pact. Each pact has, instead of having it just be do your weekly quests, each one has kind of like the tier systems for, what are they called? It's not, are they quest lines? Is that what it is?
Not challenges, but quest lines, like where it's
Yeah,
a
it's
week.
quest
Yeah,
lines,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And
Like
so
for
it's
Billy's story.
yeah, like for Billy's story. And
Yeah.
so each you can always have two of the quests going. And so you can take two quests from any of the three quest lines for the poison, fire, or whichever pact. So you can mix and match which quest you're doing, and any of the new like guns or ammos would be tied to one of them. So it'd be like Light the Shadows where, oh, I really want to get the bow. So was it? I had a variant that I thought would be fun. I don't remember what it was though.
Was it the B arrow?
So like the Romero with the baby Romero with the mace variant, because super
yeah.
easy. We already have all the animations. So like that would be in, let's say it's in the fire one because it's Dragon's Breath, whatever. And it's like, oh, if you want to unlock that, it's like the second quest tier unlocked. So once you do enough of the quest, you get it. And then each one of the packs comes back with a. I have almost them all figured out. I struggled with one. So the bleed one would basically be Mariner from this event, but then you get the Bloodless perk from the last event. So if you're doing Mariner, or if you're doing the Bleed Pact, so like Pact of the Assassin, it's Mariner tier for your 1 perk point, 2 is Remedy, and then if you pledge there, you get a little buff to Bloodless. And that would be, and the traits, getting the tokens, looks the exact same. Looting, 30 points, and banishes. Fire would be Blazeborn for 1, but heavily reworked, so it only can no longer get caught on fire when you're up, and that's it. And then just some sort of buff to South Skin while you're downed, but it's not. You can't burn because that's
that was broken.
stupid.
Oh yeah.
Skolos. Ugh. And then 2 is Rampage because I really liked that combo. I think they worked really well. And I like the idea of the bleed one's kind of like the long range, kind of not sweaty, but careful. Like you want to disengage to get remedy. Mariner's kind of getting healing at range, stuff like that. And then the Blazeborn one is, ooh, you want to play really aggressively.
In your face.
And yeah, getting kills will banish for you. It's harder to kill you while you're down, so you can try and get back up. And then the last one would be Poison, and it gets a trait like Blazeborn, where you heal in poison instead of taking damage. And then their 2 trait one would be the loot for banish. I couldn't figure out what to do with their secondary thing, because you can't really buff Mithridist. Because if you buff Mithridist to be, you don't take poison damage, that kind of offsets their initial
Like
one.
the point of it, yeah.
Yeah.
So I wasn't real sure what to do for their passive one. I kind of wanted help with that, but
You can maybe make it so that like anytime you gain an antidote shot benefit, like buff, it would just increase the duration by 5 minutes, something. So 20-minute shot would be 25-minute. I don't know.
that could be interesting. Or maybe it's like, oh, if you get an antidote shot in game, it's like a Legion shot. Or what if it's anytime you loot with like it's a buff to pack mule, but you always pick up a poison bomb.
Oh, interesting.
Something like that. So like it's encouraging you to like get more poisony things.
Right.
And I think the fun
Embrace
thing with
the
this
poison.
is, while it's kind of encouraging, because you'd probably quest to be like, oh, if you're in the bleed pact, it'll give you quests as like play Flechette or Dum Dum. But then it's also the thing of, if one of the status effects really ticks you off, you can basically negate it with whatever pact you're playing.
Right.
And so it's kind of the trade-off of the event to not be like, oh, custom ammo's everywhere, custom ammo's pointless. I kind of have be a rock paper scissors thing.
Right. I like that. I like that concept.
That's actually pretty good.
Yeah, I like that. Would the bosses change up at all in terms of, since it's kind of themed around them?
Ideally, yes, but for trying to keep it minimum, I would probably do it like this one, where it's just some gun variants and crap.
Okay, that makes sense. It's probably what I would do actually is something along those lines where it's just based around the packs that you get, and have it change it up just enough to where it can like protect you from something or make you weaker to something else. So even more of a rock paper scissors thing. Yeah.
Ooh. So like if you take like the Blazeborn one, you take extra poison damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that.
The only issue is, I said that and I'm like, oh, it might have to be from like ambient poison damage, because if you take it from ammos.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, I
because
think that'd be really
Spark's
neat.
poison
Like,
would
you
just be meta.
You don't bleed, but you burn faster now. The only thing is nobody would effing take that ever.
I mean, for poison, you could just double the time it takes to recover.
Ooh, yeah. So
maybe
like,
maybe the benefit of taking poison would be that like even if someone has an antidote shot, you can bypass it.
yeah, I think what it'd be is maybe if you're playing bleed, you recover charcoaling slower, so you don't burn more, but it might force you to play a little bit slower, and that matches up with their play style. And then poison is, like it takes like slightly longer to stop your bleed.
Bleed would
Something
definitely encourage the snipers and bushwookies, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my very simple one of, hey, you've got the hunt team that but you have to put out the event next month, and so like you gotta slap.
Right. Yeah. You gotta like chuck it out there.
Yeah.
And so I tried to do minimum new things.
Right. Existing concepts that you can twist into a new event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the second one the idea was like this was kind of leading into the second one, where the theme of that one would be like Season of the Hunter or Season of the Boss. It's something like that, where it's like boss and hunter themed. And so similar thing with the packs, I actually didn't rework them all, because I'm like they'd still work just fine for this one. But then I would rework each one of the bosses to have some sort of compound effect. And then
you've mentioned
I haven't decided on I haven't decided on what all of those are, but I've got a couple ideas.
So,
but then, what's up?
When you mean like compound effect,
like how Scrap
like
yeah, so like how Scrappy is.
So like for example, you would have Butcher and like things are on fire, for example.
Yeah, so I think it'd be like every barrel. I think for the Butcher it'd be every barrel is yellow and fires don't go out.
Ooh. Okay.
And maybe the Butcher can't be choked out either. Like he's just perpetually on fire.
Yeah.
Huh.
I mean, I'm fine with the Butcher staying able to be choked out, because the thing I want to encourage is differentiations in PvP. So that way everything outside of the boss layer is on fire, and if we have the packs going, like that makes Blazeborn really fun if you're playing that one, because you can kind of just yeet through the fire.
I would make it then that like even if you choke him out, he'll stay choked out unless he runs through fire again, and he'll set himself back on fire.
Yeah. Because I think you can reignite him right now. I'm not sure.
Really? He can't reignite himself, but he can be reignited if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
now I test it.
Maybe it's like if you get him to like half health, he like when you trigger the like half health rage, he reignites himself.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. And I might rework how they work a little bit to something like maybe he gets some more fire somehow or something like that.
Well, what about compound like bouts of flame erupting from the ground or something? You know, like it's like actual damaging stuff.
I think that'd be fun.
Take some notes from like World of Warcraft raids where you don't stand in the fire.
Well, I was thinking that for the assassin, where like I was going to put basically little you know, like the big termite mounds.
Oh jeez, yeah.
Where like the little like assassin clones with like bugs come out of them, and they're like meh.
What if the assassin's like layer action, if you will, D&D nerds here, is like when he activates it at half health and it stays active throughout the rest of his life, that like you're just constantly covered in the roaches.
That would be mythic action, not lair action. But I know what you mean.
Oh,
I want it to be something that like where Scrappy has an effect after they die. The butcher fire never going out in the compound would stay after he dies. I want it to be something that's like relevant for PvP too. That's my
I
thing that was
see. I
had with the
see.
assassin. Because
Oh,
maybe like because I'm like okay, the bug thing would work with the assassin of calling clones, or we could do it have like hive spawners around it. But I like the assassin one being more because you can like have it inside of each building too, or
actually,
automated stalker beetles just come after players. That'd be fun.
AI stalker beetles. I've
Yeah,
advocated for that for a
yes,
while.
yes, please. Oh my goodness, flying enemies, please.
because I thought it'd be fun to do. Oh, we'll get to flying enemies. I think it'd be a really fun thing because like I was hoping that each one would encourage a different play style. So like the butcher would encourage kind of taking weird risks by running through fire to get to positions they wouldn't expect you and muffling footsteps a little bit, but having more choke points. The assassin would be like you don't really want to stay still because you get bugged. And then
Right.
I don't know what the poison and the bleed are the two that I'm like, ooh, making layer effects that don't ain't just miserable to play against. They're the hard thing.
I would
Yeah.
maybe for spider I'd start using webs. Slow you down, or just make it so you can't sprint if you go through webbing or something.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, or you could also do with playing off the poison bit. You could have like noxious fumes raised from the ground where you can actually see poison clouds,
Right.
so you know to actually avoid them.
Yeah, I think that could be fun. Like each one spawns like a jet of flame. But maybe that's what it's like. Each one has whatever kind of barrel. Like
Oh,
we make
yes.
like a concertina barrel, and so then it's if it's
Ooh.
butcher they're all yellow. If it's assassin they're all blue for
Bro.
concertina, and then if it's what's the spider then they're all high barrels, and then they all get little jets of flame or poison or whatever.
I'm still reeling from the
That'd be
idea
fun.
of a concertina barrel. Can you imagine just a
I'm
massive
terrified
spool
of that.
of that
think-
inside a barrel?
That'd be fun, like because I think because it's like oh I died by a barrel, but like I could shoot it to get cover to revive my buddy or something,
True.
and then you can use your concertina to set
Ooh.
off the concertina barrel.
Just I heard you like concertina, so I brought you some more concertina.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be
If-
nuts.
If you die to one of those blowing up on you, that's going to be real rough to get you back up, though.
The only thing is there's no fuse for
that's
that.
True.
Well, then again, I guess B barrels don't have a fuse either, but
Yeah, it's instant.
but B barrels are not nearly as detrimental as a massive
You
cloud of
you could
instant
have 'em,
wire.
like, pulsing.
Yeah.
You could have them like pulsing, like the barbed wire is trying to break out, and then it goes blah.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Which also, speaking
what-
of barbed wire, it still enrages me that we have a special barbed wire from Scrappy in the scavenger's snare.
and it's not
barbed
used
wire
anywhere
bomb
else.
Doesn't use it.
Yeah.
Like, why does it? Why isn't the Scrappy barbed wire thing use Scrappy's barbed wire? Oh,
Come on, Hunt.
please, it was right there.
What
Right,
if?
so that's
Staring you in the face.
What if for Scrappy's compound effect, the ravens drop Scrappy's barbed wire?
well,
Oh,
my
gosh.
thing is Scrappy kind of already affects it because Scrappy goes no resupplies or anything. So
True.
that's why I was ignoring Scrappy because Scrappy already has the compound effect, and I was just adding compound effects initially.
Fair enough. That
Although
makes sense.
you could have it so that maybe there's already some preset locations that have concertina already popped somewhere, like small, like as if he threw the concertina there.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? So when you
Yeah.
approach the compound, like obviously it's Scrappy, look at all those crows, but then you walk in and there's just various bundles of popped concertina wire everywhere.
Yeah.
That could be cool too.
That'd be fun. So then here's the thing. From the last event, Drake, and third, everything, like all the bosses were gaining power, right? Because people were, using their packs.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
So using this, they've all managed to ask the sculptor for new toys. And so we have 3 new AI types because the way you get event points is as normal, but then if you hunt a monster associated with that boss or that type, you get like the snakes that you can put at the boss layer. So you get like
okay.
a little token that you can drop off for like bonus points. And so, like, if you kill immolators, you get packs for you get points for the fire one because they're fire themed.
Right.
If you kill dogs or danger noodles, you get um, assassin points. And so my 3 new AI, because I was really trying to figure out what are the three, because all the AI feel like a niche, right?
Yeah.
Like the dogs are really fast and causing bleed. The immolators, you have to have a certain kind of melee. Water devils are the water. Meatheads are like mini bosses, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm not sure on some of these exactly what to do, but I've got one for each of the packs. So which one you guys want to start with? Poison, fire, or bleed?
Fire.
Fire, yeah.
Okay, fire's the simplest. Because I'm like, okay, I don't want more mutated humans, but we could have more wildlife. So my idea was some sort of like creepy lizard thing that's basically become like a little mini dragon. And so the shtick with it is it's got a bit of health, and it's a bit scarier, but it's like curled up and sleeping. But if you're too loud, then it'll like wake up and
Oh,
it'll
you
like
could
shoot
witch.
fire at you.
Left 4
Yeah,
Dead witch. Yeah.
yeah. And so like
Yes.
so it'll be in compounds and just like curled up in a corner. And so it's the thing of like if you get into a fight, sometimes you just be like, oh god, there's a salamander over there, run away.
There's a Charmander here. Run.
And it's got it moves not super fast, but it because you can't make it too lethal because that gets really annoying. So it moves real slow, but it's got like the butcher's fireball thing.
Either the butcher fireball or even just like a from the mouth dragon's breath. Attack.
Bleh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
I like
hesitation
that.
with that is it can't do too much burn, but it just sets you on fire. I
Oh
think
yeah,
it'd be
yeah.
really
It'd
fun.
be more like a fire beetle exploding rather than straight damage.
Yes.
Yeah.
It basically just spits on you.
Yeah, and so I feel like that could be a really fun one because it's just like, oh,
Maybe-
big lizard.
What if it's a moderate speed? Like in terms of running, but maybe it turns slowly because it's a freaking lizard. I don't know.
Well,
Yeah.
we can't do that because we'll go to the bleed one next.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
There's
Okay.
a reason
Well.
for that. So I think just making it slow, but it doesn't do damage; it just burns. So it's the thing of because you have to be able to kind of ignore all the AI and not be immediately screwed over. Like the only ones you fully can't ignore are kind of dogs, but like all the other ones, you're like if you ignore grunt for a second to shoot or move, you mostly be fine.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm trying to avoid them being like actual bosses. So
Well,
that's
It's
go.
it's hard to ignore immolators as well due to
Yeah.
how relentless they are.
Immolators are weird where sometimes you absolutely can't ignore them because they'll kill you in a second, and then sometimes they stand there and scream at you for 3 years, and then
Yeah.
and you're like, okay, dude, thanks.
Sometimes it's about sending a message. Other times it's about putting you down.
It's just
it's
about
whatever's
screaming.
worse for you. If you're trying to bait them like around a corner so you can kill them out of line of sight, they will stand and scream. If you're trying to move quietly, they will bum rush you.
It's all about screaming. I feel you, immolators. I feel you. Same.
So the second one is for the bleed, and I wasn't sure whether this would be like an animal, like a mutated person or something, but it'd be like it's a four-legged tank thing. So it's kind of got like really thick forearms that I was thinking about this, and I'm like, I haven't played it in a very long while. Have you guys seen the brutes from Mass Effect?
No.
So they've got like they're.
I'm
think
picturing
like, kind of
I'm picturing a
like,
massive bulldog though. That's what I'm picturing.
think like it's got it almost uses its front arms because they're like absolutely massive shields, and it kind of like puts them in front of them so it doesn't take damage from the front, like the armored's
Okay.
Oh.
thing, and it's like covered in concertina, so you can't kill it from the front, and it'll stay putting bleed on you. But then if you go around from the back, you can hit it from there, and it'll do like the charge and like kind of like hesitate. So like it moves kind of slow, it turns kind of slow, but it will charge and then kind of do the the puppy, the swamp puppy. I want to say Lockjaw, and that's a X-Men character.
Raja.
Lockjaw, thank you.
Yeah, princess.
Yeah,
The
but she'll
princess
like
charge.
run at you and then let you whack her. So it's kind of a similar thing where like you kind of just go oop
You sidestep
around
it,
the ball
yeah.
and slap them.
So it's
And that would just be like
a ball of concertina that charges you. That's where the damage
Yeah.
comes from. Okay. Oh,
Yeah, and
could
it's
it knock
and it
down like the
applies.
spider does if it hits you dead on?
Maybe
That'd be kind of
knockdown
cool.
mechanic scares me in PvP.
I mean,
Like
yeah,
it's such
but
it's such an unfun thing to get knocked down.
a
So
spider has it already.
maybe, but
I think it'd be
yeah. So
fun.
that would be that one, and then the last one would be. I'm sad because I had to adjust this one for gameplay mechanics. Originally, I was thinking like so it's a deer that's been mutated. And this is like for poison. So originally I had to be really tall, so like the body would like be above your head. I'm like that would be miserable to try and hit with the hitboxes. So slightly
Yeah.
smaller, but and it spits poison clouds at you like the spider does.
Like a llama,
And
but deer.
yeah, but it's found in it always spawns in like the tree areas, so like forested areas.
Right.
So
Okay.
we have a compound one, kind of a road one, and a foresty one, and yeah, and you can like hit the like legs because they've got the damage system to kind of like slow it down before you kill it, and all of them would be more susceptible to bullets and slightly more health. So like it kind of encourages you to shoot,
Right.
because it's like if you hear somebody shooting, you're like, oh, they might be killing my faction's monster, and I don't want them doing that. Something like that.
Would it have meathead style health, or would it be
Not quite meathead,
okay?
because meathead's a lot, but similar. And I think I want to do something with. I was thinking when they die they drop they have the 50%. You always get like the tokens for event points. Then they have a 50% chance to drop a lunchbox or a saddlebag to kind of give you some
Ooh.
resupply and incentive to
Okay.
get it. So
I like that.
yeah.
The
And
only thing
I
I'd be
think that'd
concerned
be-
with is the deer being as large as it sounds. It might be difficult, like pathing through woods and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I want it to be kind of like the like Slenderman type thing, where it's like it's scared because like the long legs, not necessarily really tall. That's when
Okay.
like it wouldn't actually be as tall as I want it to for mechanical reasons, but yeah, just have it be like a really lanky, decrepit thing. Like
Yeah,
it's,
I
like,
did have the
rib
thought
cages hanging
is
out.
if it was that tall that like if you don't like notice it, if it stands still, even if you get close, and it'll only move once you interact with it or it thinks it has the jump on you. So like you might be walking
Yeah.
underneath it, you go, these don't look like trees. You're like, oh.
That's what I
It's like a moving tree, basically. That's amazing.
yeah, that was the original idea. I was just scared. I'm like, ooh, if this is too tall,
Right.
that was my fear.
Maybe if it
But
wasn't
that
a
also
deer,
encouraged
but
the
like
shooting.
more of a humanoid figure that was that tall, so that way it could look more like a tree, Maybe.
Yeah, I like the idea of it being a deer because like deer
Oh,
are
me too.
scary, and so
Yeah.
it's like ooh.
Yeah.
You
No, I
could
like that.
best of both. You could best of both worlds and do like a Wendigo type of deal.
Ooh.
That could be fun.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like the spider's an amalgamation of people, so like maybe it's an amalgamation of it's a deer human monstrosity thing.
Right.
That could be
Bark like skin.
And you could like imply like, oh,
Ooh.
maybe we got a Wendigo boss coming soon. It's like, oh, like that's the secret. It's not actually the spiders thing. It's a scout for the new boss or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Oh,
The Yeti.
I'd love a Yeti. But yeah, so that was kind of mine. I wanted to bring back the like. So there's an incentive to be like, oh yeah, you want to like hunt these monsters to get like the trait, and that can help you like move faster through the event for the different perk things. I thought it'd be really really fun.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah,
That's basically what I prepared. So yeah, I don't think I have anything else.
Yeah, I'm more inclined to work off of yours, but that's because I was not prepared.
Looks like man, really odd. I came with the exact same ideas.
Yeah, wow, weird. I
Wow,
can't believe you
crazy,
thought
what
of
a
exactly
coincidence.
what I thought of. That's so wild. All credit to
Parallel
you,
thinking
though,
much.
man. That was wow.
Parallel thinking much. Wow.
It's like we're co-hosts or something. It's weird.
Yeah. Other idea, we introduce mimics, but ammo crates.
Ooh. Ooh.
Yes.
Scary
I love
bayou
that.
mimics.
Like this, and I'm scared now.
Yes.
Imagine going to
I
get a
want-
crate of ammo and it just fucking
It just bites you.
yeah.
Yum. I
You can
want
still get
that.
the ammo from it. You have to kill it.
So like you would occasionally see it like breathing or whatever, like the
Yeah.
lid slightly opening and closing. Oh, I want it.
Or just not move at all. That'd be fine too.
Or
No,
it'll,
because then you wouldn't really know.
you
It would
have
just
some
happen.
indicator. Because it's the thing of too, like you're not gonna be. My other thing with that is, if you're a new player and you pick up ammo, you get like chomped on
The
and you're
first
like,
time,
"What the fuck?"
yeah. Imagine it's the first time you get
Excuse
chomped.
me.
No.
You get a
What
tutorial and
you
they're like,
could
"It's got
do.
an ammo crate." So you walk up to an ammo crate and just get blasted. You're like, "What the frick? Why would you do this?"
And I'm
Survival.
done playing this.
What could be done is ironically, pulling off of a Lethal Company mod, the Mimic mod, where there's fire escapes that aren't actually real, but there's
Okay.
very obvious tells, such as like it's the wrong shade, where it's like an orange instead of red fire escape, or the words on it say feed instead of fire escape. It's like that type of deal.
Maybe
I was
maybe there's,
thinking. Go ahead.
what if it's like each one, like there's a couple different options, so like maybe it can be like a blood splatter above it, or like instead of being that red it's like a yellow, like just things that
Right.
Yeah.
A scratch
you're
mark,
not
like a
always looking for one thing, but there's definitely tells that like once you get
right.
used to it
The
you notice.
the uwu label for special ammo is like peeling, so it's curled up a little bit or something like that.
It actually just says uwu and just normal.
It just actually
Comic
says,
Sans.
yeah, like Comic Sans uwu.
Oh my gosh. No.
It's if that happened, I would die. That's amazing.
Beowulfs grow legs and run at you. New feature.
Barrel gremlins. I love it.
Beowulfs.
What if there were
Barrel
gremlins in the
gremlins,
world
yes.
that would not come after you unless they hopped into a barrel first? So if you didn't kill it before it got to the barrel, now it's scary.
New one.
It jumps into the barrel, pokes its legs out the bottom, and just starts charging at you.
Or
That would be awesome.
You could also do a thing where they hide in a barrel, and if the barrel pops, a whole bunch of them pops out and runs at you.
Oh jeez.
That's the instead of concertina barrel, it's gremlin barrel.
Gremlin
Y'all get, like,
flechette barrel.
Yes.
It's a bunch of gremlins with like small knives, so they make you bleed.
Grimlet barrels. Nope. Take it back.
That's a different genre, I think.
Huh?
New hunt update. Angry Smurfs.
Angry Smurfs.
Perfect.
Yes.
They're red instead of blue.
Yes.
Legally distinct.
Wearing black clothing instead of white.
The next boss is actually Papa Smurf, but he's massive.
Yes.
And he's just built.
It's not Papa Smurf. It's Pop dash a Smurf, and he's got a gun.
Oh,
too.
Pop Smurf, yeah.
He's
He's a little Derringer, and he just chases you out like go ding ding ding.
Unlimited
Yes.
Derringer ammo. Ooh, one hand he's got the regular Derringer, the other hand he's got the penny shot.
That would be devastating. Actually,
That would be crazy. Wow, this got off topic so fast.
Yeah, I was also thinking like, on the new boss. I really do like the idea of a Wendigo boss. I think
Me
that could
too.
be really fun
Me too. I like that idea.
because you can slap that in a building still and like, still use the boss layer mechanic, or you could have it roaming. Like it works so well.
Can I just say, really quick, just speaking of bosses and new ideas, I really wish that they had made Rotjaw a proper roaming boss, where she would like leave the water and roam around the map a little bit, not just sit in one like spawned point.
You put a really odd emphasis on like roam, and for some reason my mind autofilled romance. I thought you were gonna say like I really wish it was like
Yes.
a fully romanceable boss. It's gonna be like
Yes, the Bard edition of Hunt Showdown.
Imagine if they just like, hey, the next part of the game is just introducing the dating sim, and we know we've listened to you. We know what you wanted.
Right.
You just pull
We
Dead
listen-
by Daylight, you know.
Jeez.
Wait, what did Dead by Daylight do?
They made a dating sim for all of the
Killers.
No.
Yeah, they did. They did. It's real.
1 second.
I'm not surprised. I am not surprised.
What do you mean they made a dating sim?
They made a dating sim for all of the killers.
The almost background volume.
Dead by Daylight. There's a Dead
here we
by
go.
Daylight date?
It's
Wow.
called Hooked on You, and it is
Okay,
magical.
it's not actually the comp. I thought you were saying like, you know how Fortnite has like the Guitar Hero game mode now? I thought you meant like it was a part of like the company that made Dead by Daylight were like, yeah, when you launch, you can choose classic or dating sim mode.
No. It's not officially built into it, but it is officially licensed.
Wait, it is okay. All right, that's sure. That's
That's
wild.
very,
Real thing.
very cringe.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the only good like licensed dating sim I've ever seen was the Colonel Sanders one, but that's a whole different thing.
Don't you love to have this like that brief time where like all the fast food companies were like, what weird crap can we do? And Wendy's was like, we've made a tabletop game. And
Yeah.
KFC's like, do you want a
Wait,
dating
what?
sim? Yeah, there's a Wendy's RPG you can play.
No way.
Yeah,
What?
apparently it's actually like fairly mechanically solid too.
I
Wendy's RPG.
no way. Insight check in
That
this
is
one.
wild.
Yeah,
I
Wendy's
did not
made a
know about
tabletop
that.
RPG where you can battle Ronald McDonald.
That's
What's it
funny.
called?
It's real. What?
Yeah, I didn't know about
Feast of
that one.
Legends. It's a 100-page fully playable tabletop RPG of fantasy
Okay.
based on Wendy's restaurant.
All right, Drake. I know you don't like
that.
Drake. I know you don't like playing TTRPGs online, but you got to make an exception.
For the Wendy's one, really?
Yeah,
That's what I
gotta
gotta make an exception for? Wow.
Yep.
Battle ready Wendy. What in the world? That Alright. Hey, post editing Drake, please add this image that Baldy just posted on top of our faces right now. This is epic. It's Wendy, but
Also-
looking like a paladin.
You also got to put the Dead by Daylight one up on screen too.
Fine for you.
Thank you.
Okay,
Okay, but why is she actually kind of hot though? That's what I want to know.
I wasn't gonna say it, but
what was
yeah, paladin Wendy. She kind of looks like she belongs in freaking what's it called? Alice in Wonderland. She looks like Alice in Wonderland.
Oh yeah, very
Yeah,
much.
actually,
Very similar color scheme.
the missing fourth book.
Where Alice becomes a paladin.
There we go.
Allison did.
Done it.
Oh, hey, look, Baldy did it for me. Thank you.
Oh wow!
I've done it.
All right, he is now the Wendy the
I
paladin.
really like this little program that we have.
Yeah, it's nice.
Which
It's very
we didn't
convenient.
we didn't waste an hour trying to animate our icons.
Oh, not at
before
all.
This.
Not at all.
And ran into
I don't know what
issues.
you're
We're
talking
not
about.
late to recording at all. What are you talking about?
No, this is on time.
What do you? I don't know what you're talking about.
We say that jokingly, but like the people should be very happy right now because we recorded an episode and then we also did the crossover with Hunt Banish Extract, which is freaking 2.5 hours. I think.
Yeah, it's pretty long.
Like it's a chunky episode, and then we're doing this like the next weekend. Wow.
Yeah, so far we're doing okay. I don't want to jinx anything, but so far we're doing okay.
Which we did.
I mean,
Time to ruin that. Don't worry
about that.
Life will do it for us. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we're
true.
gonna milk it for what it's worth while we can.
I believe it is.
There's something else I had
oh.
a cool idea for, but I can't freaking remember what it is now. So.
Well.
Yeah,
let us know when you know. Otherwise, I think third.
It was something when we talked about the Wendigos and it figured that, and then I was like, the other thing I thought was, now this is me pitching something that this might just be like an absolutely terrible idea, right?
boy.
Like this could just be heinous, but I'd kind of like if you could go to like LO Compound or something, and then like trigger like a PvE event. Was like a bunch of like grunts get like a lot angrier and faster, and like maybe it spawns like a little mini boss thing, and like PvP is like disengaged for the moment. Like everybody's treated as teammates until it turns off, and then like like that's where you can get like a token from that too,
Right.
Or the boss tokens.
I've actually thought of it'd be neat to have a alternate game mode where it's the normal 12 people, but you're actually trying to work together. Maybe you spawn in a compound in the middle of a map, and you're trying to defend it from waves of but you get one life or the ability to res each other, whatever.
I thought about that. Like that adds one because I think that works with resing because you got the bows limiting.
True.
But I think the benefit that is. You don't have to interact with it if you don't. But the downside is it's a lot of development because you're gonna have to add in new mechanics. They're
True.
pretty
Yeah.
heavy,
Yeah.
and you're gonna split the player base. Whereas mine is integrated into the gameplay. But the issue is, if you're somebody who's like, "That's something stupid," you're not forced into it,
Right. You don't have
but
to participate.
you're kind of forced into it in a
No,
way.
but here's the thing though: is like if it's a compound that's close enough to that, to the lighthouse, and someone's up there sees the event happen in a compound away, but isn't close enough to be in the "we're all friends" zone, he could still shoot in and kill players while the
Oh,
event's
that's
going
a
on.
good point.
You see
I
what
don't
I mean?
know.
That would be difficult to handle.
Yeah.
I personally
What if
feel
it
like it
was-
might be best to just stay a free for all in this
Yeah.
case.
And just agree to work together or not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my only issue is I want to make the AI more aggressive, and like if you do that too much, it can make it. What if that's the Wendigo shtick? Like it spawns like more AIs.
I would like that.
Like you have like dryads coming out of the trees or something to attack people. So like he's still
Yeah.
in boss layer, but like he spawns enemies.
Yeah, I'd like that.
I actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I had an idea similar to this. It's not on my sheet, but a while ago I thought
What are your
of
7,000 words?
yeah, not on the 7,000 word sheet, but I had an idea similar to this a while ago where whenever you killed a boss, you would have to actually defend from AI that are trying to basically avenge like hordes, basically. A couple of
Kinda
waves
cool.
instead of just waiting.
Because then you could also
But-
use that to your advantage on players that are camping you outside.
Yeah.
If someone's camping
Yeah.
you outside, you just go, all right, fine, banish the boss, and as soon as the banish starts, the waves start,
And you
and
just deal with
they have to deal with that
AI.
now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'd be
I
kind of
like
cool.
maybe it's they attack like all the buildings in there, so it's not just the boss layer. It's like
Oh, yeah.
if somebody's camping, then it's like, oh yeah, they're coming after both teams, and you got to deal with that.
I like that.
That could be fun.
Mm-hmm.
We thrown out all these ideas, and I'm like, I think a good chunk of these would be neat to add. Was like, wow, a lot of these would be rough to do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because like mine, I'm like, man, I would love. I think these enemies would actually add a bit, but I'm like, I really went into the no restrictions because those all require unique models, unique animations.
Right.
I tried
It
not
would be
to,
a while.
I tried to make them like I tried to use the fireball and the poison spit from existing things, but yeah, yeah. All right, third. What do you got?
Boy.
It's your turn.
Oh boy. All right.
Start with the simpler one.
Yep, that's the plan. So I decided, since the Crytek has said they do their events in groups of 3, we're gonna
Mhm.
finish off the Tide series with the Tide of Rebirth. And I've added a little
Didn't-
tagline here.
Wait, I
Hey,
thought we
I'll
already
say pause.
are. We're on the third one.
Isn't Tide of Desolation the last one for tides?
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, bonus tide.
Bonus
Tide
time.
of Rebirth. Got it.
Hang on.
Panic.
Hang on.
All panic.
We got Tide of Corruption, Tide of
Shadows.
Desolation, Tide of crap.
Shadows, I think, was the first one.
Tide of Lighting the Shadows. Yeah.
That's fine. We just add a fourth one. It's fine. It's just
It's the transition into the new one.
All right, so retcon. The current Tide that we're on never happened.
okay. Got it.
Writing this event right now. You can go ahead.
But yeah, it's called Tide of Rebirth. With the Destruction Desolation emerged, those chain. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me. Brain had a moment there. With the Destruction and Desolation
We did
emerged,
kind of like
those
whack
changed.
you right off the bat.
Yeah. With Destruction and Desolation emerged, those changed from our greed.
Mhm.
So, this kind of ruins the whole wildcard idea I had. So yeah, we're just gonna like pretend that there's a fourth one and the third one technically that isn't real.
It's fine. It works. It works.
Yeah,
It works.
It works. So, going off of the trend for just kind of like putting together something to rush out to the player base while they're working on other things in the back burner for future event groupings, you would just, knowing Crytek, they would combine Ash Bloom and the fire effects, which would actually look pretty cool, in my opinion. That makes sense.
Good.
Just works, exactly. So nothing too crazy in that department. Like, however, there would be the prediction for the future, getting ready to move to the next one with the packs and the weapons, which is kind of what they have been doing. So you would have your death pact, the base trait would be, what it was prior, where you can see downed enemy hunters and dark sight along with the AI. Makes sense. Now, for their burn trait, I thought it might be good to give them relentless, which in hindsight's a little powerful, but it makes sense given the other two. Now, for their conditional trait, I decided to give Necromancer a little something. They've given Necromancer plenty in the past, but
Oh boy, I'm gonna get flamed.
instead of just outright reviving a downed ally from a distance, you can right-click and you can just zoop to them like Shadow Step, and you can pick them up that way.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah,
I like
So
it a
there's
lot.
that
Does
little
it,
idea.
does it take like a little tick of health and just like channeling it?
I was thinking that, yeah, because normally when you're reviving, you use a bar, so it would have to take HP for you to do that.
I don't think it should take the full bar because you do have to then once you're there you have to manually pick them up in the open most likely too. So it's like yeah,
Well,
I think it should be like what's the teleport one now is like just short of a bar.
Yeah, I
yeah,
think
wait,
it's
no, because
no, it is a bar. I think
it's a full
so
bar, yeah.
I guess it'd
a
have
full
to be like if you
25.
hold right click instead you lose health slightly slower.
Well, what you could do is when looking at them, you right click and it just takes whatever remaining of the bar. So you're there. You don't have to instantly start reviving, too. You could move around and shoot someone or
Yeah.
get to a better position. So if you have someone outside of the compound, they think you're inside, you zoop in there and you can hit them from behind.
Yeah, I think I think with some work that could be a really cool mechanic.
That actually really could be. Yeah, I like that.
Purposely down your teammate in the boss layer. Wait for them to pick up that
Get a
honey.
teleport point.
Like
That'd
it
be
actually.
disorienting.
Yep. And you intentionally send like a guy with like a shotgun in there to get information, and then you zoop in there and you put in the work with basically full health. I can see that being both very toxic and also very fun to be the one doing it.
Yes.
Then we got Demented. Demented's back again. Similar to how it was, but instead of how it is for double melee damage for the base trait, all of your melee attacks and ready speed is just doubled. You swing real quick.
But what about wind up time?
Also really fast.
Okay.
It's just faster. Like throw punches,
Maybe.
swing faster. I can see
Wouldn't
that
that be
happening.
like terrifying with like the down and the bomb lance for?
Oh,
Well,
absolutely.
I guess Berserker and stuff kind of already. Yeah, I think that I think that would be fine.
I feel like it would work. It would be devastating to be on the other end
for
of.
PvP, it's still balanced by you have to be right next to them.
Right. You have to be
Yeah.
within range.
It would also be incredible for just mowing down AI in a horde.
Mm-hmm.
True.
And then for the conditional trait, we got Ghoul, which I thought of the idea of you could turn melee into like a leeching type of deal, where instead of just you have to kill an AI, any melee damage you deal heals you for just a small amount.
So like they did with the boss, but just for everything.
Yeah.
And I think that's
Okay.
fair because the boss one didn't do anything.
Yeah, it's
It was
basically
very,
useless.
very rare. Yeah. Rare case.
Mhm.
I like that.
I do too.
Now we have our new pact, and one that'll play into the next event, Foreseer. Now, I didn't think too much about the lore implications, but my idea with them is that the Foreseers are a group of people who've been changed and who've had the shot. They all have Darksight and have grown fanatic over Darksight, worshipping it and creating something far worse than anyone would have foreseen. Darksight for the base trait. The base trait's Darksight range is extended and a lot more clear, so you can actually see things around you more clear in Darksight. You also gain precise location of clues and bosses, instead of just the blurb.
Hmm.
The burn trait, I had a little fun with this idea. While looking at an enemy hunter's corpse in Darksight, I'm thinking you would have to have like a clear line of sight to it. You can detonate that corpse for one charge.
Corpse explosion.
Mm-hmm.
So wait, what corpse you can blow up?
Enemy hunter corpses that you can actually see. in your line of sight.
What do
Imagine.
you mean blow them up?
So it's like a reverse necro, basically. I wouldn't say it damages the downed hunter, but it's like an AoE effect, so that if there's someone trying to revive around a corner, you can detonate the corpse to do a big chunk of damage to the person reviving them or anyone nearby.
That would be neat.
I'm not as big fan of that, but I'm not. I don't know.
As long as
I wasn't
as long as
expecting
it
that. I was
doesn't
like, oh, how do we act?
as long as it doesn't like remove a health chunk. Although, well,
It
I don't
wouldn't remove
know.
health chunk. My thinking here is revive farming people.
I don't like the thought of revive farming though. And my kind of issue with it would be it'd be either really niche and wouldn't come up much, or it would be insanely frustrating to play against.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's for the people who do revive farm mostly, and also to encourage people from, getting away from their buddy who's been downed. Basically give you some space before they pick up their friend again.
Would there be a charge like a wind up time like Necro?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a burn trait too, so you can only do it so many times.
Would it burn on use?
Yep. Well, once you use it, that charge is gone.
Okay.
Yeah, I
That
I
makes.
don't know if it's imbalanced. I just don't know if it'd feel bad and for like both parties.
I don't know. I
That's fair.
think it'd be all right.
I think it's definitely an interesting idea. I'm almost. What if it was instead of downed enemy hunters? What if it was like nearby AI? So like if there is AI walking about, you can just go. But
It's kind of like a worse Shadow Step, I think, at that point.
What if?
Because
Sorry.
yeah, I don't know.
What if you like cursed the hunter's body instead, so it like took twice as long to pick up, or on pickup they detonated, not dealing damage to themselves, but like to whoever picked them up would take some damage, something like that, where it's doesn't prevent the pickup, but it hinders it somehow, and or causes some damage.
I like that idea where it's like almost like what if it was like maybe it's like like it sets off a flare type thing, like maybe that it makes them make a noise when they stand up and they're like slower, like it like they're so it's like you can still do it, but it's like uh-oh, I'm a little slow lad now,
right? For a couple seconds.
And you just like a black smoke over the body, so like people know. So it's not like you go there and you're like, oh, I'm screwed because I didn't know.
To build off of that, actually, could totally reuse. I don't remember which event it was. It was one of the ones in the previous series where there was a pact where whenever you left the game, there would be like a little visual effect that played on your corpse.
Oh yeah, the sound effect too.
Yeah, I feel like an effect like
one.
It was when Death Cheat first was introduced.
It was Death Cheat.
Yep.
Yeah. I feel like a visual effect like that should play on a corpse that's been cursed to play off of that, so that your buddy is cursed.
What if, since we're playing into Darkseid, what if you hear like when you stay reviving, you or necroing, you start hearing like the boss whispers?
Oh,
that'd be cool. So like everybody around would hear that, so they would know that something like they're being picked up, or
you can everybody hears it then. So it's
so that way you have an idea that even if someone's necroing, the sound comes from the corpse, you go, oh, they're about to be picked up, so you can kind of prep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
so you're like, I gotta get back over there.
That's kind of cool. But is that as long as you curse it with that trait, or?
Yeah, as long as you curse it with that trait. So you would have to burn a charge to do it. So you can only do it like 3 times max.
Right, if you have all 3 trait slots filled up.
If it's doing that, since it's not like inherently damaging, I almost wonder if it'd be like a one token thing instead of a 2. It's an easy to get one, so you can do it multiple times during a fight. Because all it's doing is slowing them down and making a visual thing.
Right.
Yeah, but I think that would work. Yeah. I do like that idea a lot.
You could do an inverse too, because of how strong the base trait is when it's combined with the other 2 traits. You could play into it as well, where the base trait's 2 and the burn trait's 1.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that'd be really neat.
Yeah.
So like your initial one's stronger, but it's harder to get.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can get. Yeah, I do like that idea. I think the neat thing about that idea too is like an indicator and like slowing people is it's really good for both solos and duos and trios
Yeah,
because it allows you to kind of rotate a little bit more and still be aware of that happening.
right. It's really good
Mhm.
against solos. Actually, solo res is instant, so you
It
wouldn't get
is, yeah.
any indicator. Maybe that's when you like get a flare sound
Oh,
effect or something.
yeah, and that
Counterplay
could be
against solos too.
yeah, and I think it could be. I think if it's a solo, then maybe what if it just makes the solo body whispers? They like it's an indicator they're solo. You're like, oh,
Oh,
I'll take
I would
that.
like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be helpful. You just,
Or
you
maybe
put the curse on it, and you just hear like a Deb's voice go, "Yeah, that's a solo."
this gentleman is
Yes.
going solo here.
Nah, he's got a teammate.
What if it gives solo the revive timer and during that time it makes the whisper? So like maybe it's like okay now when you after your 10-second timer you actually have to like charge it up so like there's the 2-3 seconds of channeling it before you get up and making the whispers. So that way it's not necessarily giving away the solo but it's like slowing them down a little bit.
Hmm.
Yeah, that would work.
Yeah, I like that. I think that could be really cool.
Actually, also to further play into it, I just had an idea. You could also totally give the person who has arrived the coughing, choking effect as well.
Yeah,
Oh
that
yeah,
might be good instead of slowing them down because it's just like because a lot of times you're already slowed from not having stamina. So
Hmm.
like you go around the corner and you're like I gotta heal up, and then you're gonna get wall banged,
Yo,
or you
right.
have to keep moving, and then you don't want to be doing that. You want to kind of gather your bearings. Yeah, I think that could be really neat.
That would be awesome. I like that a lot.
yeah.
Was that just the
That
first?
I think that was all two traits, right? Or was that the second one?
that was the burn trait. Now we have the conditional trait.
Okay.
Viga. In addition to health and stamina replenishment rates being doubled, poison, bleeds, and fires will slowly grow weaker naturally and stop altogether when in dark sight for long enough.
So
That could be
you
interesting.
unchow faster, you get rid of poison faster, and does it does it just stop bleed then? Is it just the same thing as holding F to stop bleed?
So if you have a strong bleed, it'll slowly go to a medium and then slowly go to a weak and then slowly stop.
What what if instead that is just like if you're in dark sight, it kind of acts like because you know how as you have light bleed, it's faster to get rid of than heavy bleed. What
Hmm.
if if you hold F, it's normal, but if you're in dark sight, it speeds it up to like one tier less. So like if you have heavy bleed, it's you patch it up just faster.
Okay, yeah, that'd work.
Yeah, I like that.
That's way
Yeah,
better.
I want to play this pack now.
Oh, this sounds like a awesome pack.
Just wait.
All right.
I'm not done cooking yet. This is the predecessor. Actually, you know what? We're gonna play into the fact that this is the first of the next series.
No,
It works a
okay.
little better.
We both designed trilogies.
You did.
Basically. Uh, and then for new weapons, because at this point it's just guaranteed. I didn't do any cosmetics or anything, just weapons here. So first and foremost, new single shot weapon, the Spencer carbine. Uh, the Spencer carbine is a gun not asimilar to the Sparks. Uh, Single shot, quick reload, that type of deal. It would be long ammo. It would probably be the quickest reload of the single shot weapons, but the lowest damage. Logically.
So it'd be like kind of like the Springfield, but with damage with
Long ammo.
better speed and damage fall off,
Hmm.
but lower initial run. Yeah, I like that.
It's also worth noting that the Spencer was a very heavy carbine as well. So we could also play into that with heavier sway, little bit slower overall to use. Except for its
Give it
reload.
a give it a mace variant so you can just whack people with it.
Yes!
Brahma.
Spencer Trauma. Spencer's Trauma sounds like a song. Never mind.
I'm
Uh,
definitely down for that.
Yeah, I like that.
Then, to follow Crytek's trend of semi-automatic guns that everyone loves, let's give us the Luger PO8. Semi-automatic pistol, compact ammo.
Not me over
Hohenheim's
here looking it up.
Yeah, we both have. Oh yeah. The I use the. What's the in Destiny 2? There's a Luger. It's Drang, right? Drang and Sturm. One of them's a hand cannon. One of them's a Luger. I love that gun.
Yeah, I adore the Luger. It's one of my favorite pistols personally. I don't know about the Destiny 2 variant. I haven't seen it. Don't play Destiny 2. I still have
I
my
do not. My Destiny my Destiny addiction was killed by my hunt addiction. So
great to hear. I'm so happy for you.
thank you. I appreciate it. I do have a friend who keeps going, "You want to play Destiny?" I'm like, "No."
It's good for you. Destiny Anonymous really helped you out.
Well, the other thing was like, because I had finally gotten like armor that I thought looked really cool and all this, and they're like, we're sunsetting all of the armor and weapons because we can't balance a competitive armor and weapons. And so I'm like, oh, so I'm paying for the sins of people who break the game. Thanks. Awesome.
Got it. Understood.
Mhm. Checks out. It's not like they're very capable of designing armor and weapons anymore, according to them. So that's a whole debacle. But yeah,
I don't know. I have not followed it at all since I exited.
Oh man, the devs themselves said it was just too difficult to make stuff. So
Wow.
Yep.
That's
What do you mean?
impressive to be that bad.
Yep, there's a whole post about it. It was actually kind of pathetic. Oh, that's more of an Nambu than a Luger, actually.
Oh well,
Similar.
I will take your word for it.
Yeah, you're the gun guy here.
Yep, a bit of a gun nut. Love guns, but yeah, Luger
It's really funny because I had to play I played in a one shot that was like cowboy themed, and I was like the knowledgeable gun guy, and they're like, "Oh, do you have an interest in it?" And I'm like, "No, I just play hunt."
I just play hunt.
I know what the. So what's the? Those look so similar.
They do.
Hopefully,
Nimbu's
once you identify the difference between these pictures.
yeah. The Nambu is a Japanese pistol, World War II, World War I era. I forget the exact year it was made.
Okay.
Wikipedia, go 1904. There we go.
Wait, what about the Well God? Is that time accurate?
No, that's 1930s to 40s. I adore that gun, but no,
So
unfortunately.
what is? So I only know it from I played a lot of Medal of Honor growing up, and I think it's to Rising Sun. They have it's like one shot and not silenced, but it's really quiet, and so you can meme on people with it because it's one shot and then you have to like reload it.
Mhm.
But
Is
is that
So we have the Well Rod and Blockfront, which Blockfront shout out, go.
yeah?
Hey, so the Well Rod was made in 1942, according to the Wikipedia page. I believe it.
Mhm.
But it's a magazine-fed pistol, and whenever you use it, it's completely sealed. The way the mechanism works is that every time you shoot through it, you punch a hole through it, so it has a perfect silent sound. You don't even hear the thing
Okay.
shoot.
'Cause I thought it was silent, but I didn't want to say that because I'm like. I was like, if I say that and that's wrong, I'm gonna look so stupid. So I was like, it must be the sound. I corrected myself into being wrong.
It's basically just perfectly silent. You for the very first shot, you just hear like a little. That's all you really hear.
So why has it only got one shot?
That's the quietest kick I've ever heard.
Wow.
What?
Well, that silenced pistol. It says it's 5 here. I did not get 5 shots in in Rising Sun. Anyway, sorry.
It's all good. But yeah, I don't know if I assume you know what baffles are.
I don't.
You've baffled
It's baffled me.
Alright.
Dang it!
Baffle both of you then. So in suppressors and silencers, there's these rings basically.
Mhm.
That's what traps the gases to make the bullets quiet.
Okay. I know
Those
the
are
concept, didn't know the name.
those are sealed, so they're perfectly sealed. Whenever a bullet
Okay.
goes through, it punches a hole straight through for the well rod. So it creates
Okay.
this perfect seal.
Do you think so? Could we have a silent spikes pistol and make a pseudo well rod with just like really crappy damage fall off, but it's a spike pistol?
So the Weld Rod was chambered in 32 ACP. It's a really small bullet.
Okay.
Man, that silencer would be just as big as the pistol.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah.
It would have to
Would-
be.
That'd be funny. Maybe some medium slot silenced Specs pistol.
Oh man,
I mean,
you have to two-hand
Well,
it
'cause
like the upper man.
Because they said that
yeah.
they kept messing around with it silenced with a Spikes medium slot, but it was too good
Oh,
because the sway and stuff was better because it would have used the rifle drop off instead of the pistol drop off,
hmm
and so a silenced pistol version might be a fun version because it starts the crappy. It'll have crappy damage drop off in muzzle velocity, but
and sway.
medium slot.
hmm
Yeah,
That would work.
That would be wild.
I'm adding that to my previous one as I'd already planned, and
Yes.
Yeah. It was
No,
always mine, you just forgot
That was
to
part of mine. It was just I forgot
yeah,
to
sorry,
bring it out.
yeah.
Yeah.
what's the Luger? How's it different from the Bornheim?
So the main thing with the Luger is that it would A, be more expensive, B, have a little bit more accuracy, a little less bump. But
Isn't
you can't
Bornheim really accurate?
uh when you spam it there's a ton of like sway.
Not when I
for
use
damage
it.
accuracy. So that's where my thinking is. The Luger would have less, but because of how the Luger works, whenever you shoot it, the back irons just raise up. You're pitching a tent with the Luger, basically. That's a term I was told to use. Blame rat.
Oh, we could blame Rat
That
for a
does
lot
sound
of
like a
things.
rat thing.
Yeah.
That's true. But yeah, it
Love you,
basically
buddy.
pitches a. Love you, rat. It basically pitches a tent, and the iron sights are back off of it, so you can't really do a follow-up shot until it's done cycling the next bullet. So you would have to time it properly, but you can spam it at close ranges. It would do a little bit more damage, a little less drop off for the initial model.
Would you try and keep it below the three? Would you try and keep it 3-tap kill instead of 2-tap kill?
Yeah, it'd be a 3-tap dolch basically.
Okay.
Hmm.
With compact, yeah, I think that'd be fine with compact ammo drop off.
I'd try
And
it.
so it would have its own little place compared to the Bornheim, the different ammo types. And of course, since there is a artillery variant with a really long barrel and a stock, well, there's your stock variant.
An artillery variant?
Let me get you a picture of that.
Yeah, please do. An artillery variant is such a strange.
It was quite literally meant for artillery units in the Second World War and the First World War.
A specific variant for. Okay. All right.
And that's what it looks like. I'd say ditch the snail drum though, because we don't need that.
The drum on the
Please
bottom.
no. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Please don't do that, Crytek. We don't.
if I remember, editing, I'll try to throw this on there on screen. So if you're watching, you can see what we're looking at here. Yeah, that's
Editor,
it's kind of goofy looking.
Yep.
It's it's like a Bornheim true shot. The long barrel.
Basically.
Imagine the Joker
It's,
pulling that out of his pants. That would be
with
wild.
the drum on.
See, with the drum on and with that stock, like.
It's also worth noting it has the same stock, I think. Don't quote me on this. I might be wrong. I don't know too much about the stocks, but it should have the same stock as the Dolch.
I stepped out for a second.
Okay.
What is that?
That's the artillery Luger.
Yeah, he said he said
artillery.
artillery variant, and all I could think of was like an artillery like mortar, placeable. And I'm like, wait, as a pistol? I'm confusion.
So it's like the Bornheim match.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Except get rid of the drum mag. We don't need that, please. We just don't need that.
That's what makes it look so goofy. So that's
Yeah.
what is that?
Yeah, I just said it a second ago too. It looks like the PAX True Shot with that barrel length. It'd be really funny to see the Joker pull that thing with the stock included out of his pants.
Yeah, and the drum too.
With the drum mag. No,
Yeah.
If it's a Joker, he like pulls that out, and then like he has to like fiddle around and find the drum mag somewhere.
Right,
else.
reaches further down into his
Yes.
pants. Yeah. Like it's somehow deeper into his pants. He's got to find the drum mag.
But also, I had mentioned, I might be wrong, don't quote me on this, but I believe it uses the exact same stock storage device as the Dolch does. So you're actually able to open it up and put the Luger inside the stock for storage reasons.
Huh.
I believe the Dolch has the exact same stock for the Dolch Precision. Might be wrong, might not be. Who knows?
It looks similar.
Yeah, should be. But yeah, that's my idea for the Luger. Would absolutely adore to have this pistol, and the timeline lines up.
I was about to say, what was the year again? Remind me.
1898, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, that
I
lines
can't-
up real well.
My issue is if they introduce another expensive gun, I'll just go, hey, look, another gun I won't play.
Right.
Basically.
'Cause it-
Says the man
I-
with
I have the money.
77 uppercuts in his inventory.
yeah, but like they're $400. What if I use all 77 and I burn through my
Then
$1
I
million
will
and then
be
I
impressed.
when I want to?
It would be like it'd like be the middle child in terms of pricing between the Bornheim and the Dolch. So it wouldn't be
So like 300,
obnoxious.
400?
Yeah.
Okay.
Baldy, you could use uppercuts until you got down to about 30, and then you could slow down and maybe start collecting again, and you'd be
I could.
fine.
This is correct. This is accurate information. But then I go to build a loadout and I go,
You will
I
effectively
should
never
consume
run
my
out
money.
of uppercuts.
Again, accurate statements.
You know.
Things that get on my nerves. For 300, Alex.
But like it's like so I've been playing some Baldur's Gate, and in my main campaign I have used I think a fly skull. That is it. And so I was playing with some buddies and they're like, yeah, you can just you can just use this hill giant potion. I'm like, but what if I need it for like a boss fight? They're like, we have the recipe for it. But what if I
But I have one
we have
right now.
6 of them. They're like, so they forced me to use it, and I felt icky the whole time.
You just felt horrible.
I have the exact same problem when it comes to using my resources and abilities.
I think that there has to be some like deep childhood thing because I had that as a kid. You played like Dungeon Siege, and I had an inventory full of potions that I would never use.
I think that's just called being poor growing up.
Well, because it's
you
like
might be right.
When like it comes to hunt, and like when I'm playing, I'm like, yeah, I paid for the whole consumable. I'm gonna use the whole consumable. I don't get it for me.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
I think the only consumable I do that with is ammo boxes.
Ammo. The ammo boxes being $65 always makes you feel bad when you're putting it down. I'm like, oh.
I don't know. I don't have the same like drive like you and Dark have to just hold on to all your money for no reason. So I'm like $65. I just buy it without thinking, and then the only thing that I do is I think about when I place it because I don't want to like place it and then have no one use it. We all die, or I place it, then we like rotate away at a compound and forget about it. Like, you know?
It's something where like it's part of the reason why like one of my issues with the Pathfinder system. I know we're really off topic for a ton of it, but
yeah, we've kind of gone out at the deep end.
Pathfinder really encourages you to use consumables, and like 5e kind of does, but like I just don't like consumables. I want to manage my resources, but I don't want to be like stressed out about using this one-time use item at the correct time, because what if there's another time?
Right.
But if it's like, oh yeah, this is once per long rest, I'm like, cool, I will manage that correctly. I don't know.
That's one of the things I've been trying to do with any homebrew items I implement in my campaigns too, is just instead of making them one and done, pull them back a little and give them charges that restore per day.
And my thing is like, it doesn't have to be usable quickly. It's just as long as it's usable again eventually. So like it could be, oh, instead of doing you cast Disintegrate once, Disintegrate takes 5 charges and they only come back once a day. And so it's like, okay, if I use this, I'm just not using it anytime soon.
Yeah.
For 5 days, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, what we're saying is there's a new cooldown mechanic in Hunt for using the Dolch. No.
Yes.
You have to wait for your charges to come back at the lobby.
Yeah, screw the Dilch bags. Actually, that's not a bad idea for reworking how the economy works. Have it be per, like, instead of money, it's a cooldown for each weapon.
My only issue with that is when you build a hunter's like, this is my sniper hunter, and I want to play snipers tonight, and it's like, screw you. I'm like,
all your
God,
snipers
that's
are
fair.
on cooldown.
Yeah.
I mean, you could just have the cooldown be like match based. So like you buy a spark sniper, you can't buy another one for another 3 matches. So you just gotta.
That's the idea.
that'd be interesting.
So it's not like real life 24 hours later.
Yeah, it's
Tarkov.
You gotta...
Sorry,
Tarkov,
did I
does
say that
Tarkov
out
have a
loud?
mechanic like that?
Yeah, you did.
I don't know anything about Tarkov besides you
So-
can make cursed guns.
Okay, the way Tarkov works is that for the cooldown bit, you have a scav that you can play for free, basically.
Mhm.
And anything the scav gets, you can just basically keep. If
Yeah,
the
it's
scav
like
gets
a
out
Soul
alive.
Survivor, right?
Basically. So it's Soul Survivor with a cooldown. Then it also
It's got a
takes
cooldown,
IRL.
okay. That's like
Then there's
cooldown.
also IRL timers for any base upgrades you do, and then there's IRL timers for like daily quests and all that. Overall, the timers aren't that bad in Tarkov. It's just timers.
That just sounds annoying.
It just
Yeah.
sounds very annoying. I've never actually played it. I just know
Is it
just
just
enough.
to prevent? Is it just 'cause, like everybody gets super good gear, and then if you haven't been sweating, then you're screwed over? Is it just to like artificially inflate the time before the next wipe?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
In SPT, as single player Tarkov, which is a branch that the community has made, where just play Tarkov single player with mods and whatnot. There's
Yeah.
like they've basically implemented so you don't have to wait, and it's honestly really nice.
Yeah, I'm like that sounds like something I could get behind because like the PvP aspect and like the massive feels bad is just like no, I'm never playing Tarkov.
Yeah, I suffer enough with Hunt already. I don't need Tarkov.
Yeah. Speaking of Hunt,
Tarkov. Oh yeah, right. We're
yeah.
having a hunt podcast. That's right. New weapons, Luger. Cool. Third new weapon. I had an
You
idea.
can't introduce yourself into the game as a weapon. That'd be OP.
Hey, wait a minute.
It's just
Yeah.
you get a full team and he just follows you around.
Yeah,
Yes.
doesn't do a whole lot,
Like a-
but
He just stands there, takes a shot for you.
What if we just
but
got
no.
the Pokemon with the gun? Sorry, the pal with the gun, the lift monk.
oh yeah,
Yes. But the third new gun, or it's not really a new gun, but longbow, 3-slot bow.
ooh,
No,
yes. Give me details.
I hate the bow.
I love the
Please
bow.
don't do this to me.
It's a full 3-slot bow, really slow draw. The arrow flies real fast. It's like the bow, but better and slower and heavier and a little bit more sway. And it at full charge, there's a bit of like actual shake.
So it's the crossbow.
A crossbow, but like we'll get there.
What arrow
soon.
types does this longbow have?
Is this the hive arrows?
Speak magic to me.
So my thinking was that the longbow would have, your standard arrow. And then I had the idea of like, what if there was like an arrow that just the whole point of it is it goes real far, real fast, but it just goes clean through you and doesn't really make you bleed.
Spitzer.
Basically a Spitzer arrow. Less damage overall, not obnoxious. It's Spitzer, but not obnoxious, and for a longbow.
Okay.
See, I'm not like mechanically. I'm not against this at all. I think this is well designed mechanically and could be fun.
Yeah.
I don't want it because I hate the bow.
I would say
Don't
as
worry,
long as they did something to the crossbow to make it better and compete with at least the short bow, the normal bow.
We're getting there. Don't worry.
Okay.
We're getting there.
Okay.
Oh God.
It might take an event, but we're getting there.
Okay. So this event has a longbow with drilling arrows. It's I the way I pictured it is like the fletching is angled enough to where it like makes the arrow
We
spin.
probably should have made.
I'd
We
spin,
probably should have made we probably should have made like the gun wish list a separate thing from the event.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, but also they're so integral to the events that it makes sense to include them.
Yeah, I was trying to avoid it because like that's always something we talk about doing wish lists, but yeah, they're a big thing. That's when like mine. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah,
3
I'm
packs.
really-
There'd be new guns. I don't know what they'd be.
Really annoyed
But-
by it.
Yeah.
Okay. Fine.
And that's basically it for the Blood of Rebirth. That's what we're calling it now. That's the first of the 3 new series.
Okay.
Fabulous.
Blood of Rebirth. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Does it go on? Is there more? Was that was that
That's-
7,000 words or characters?
That was
But,
only
like 500.
Oh, okay.
that was only that was only 500 words.
All right.
So now we have
What we got next?
Event 2, Blood of the Sinners. War has plagued the bayou, and we only have ourselves to blame. So the wild card, we don't really like wild card as a concept. I don't, at least. The idea
Yeah,
of instead of a wild card effect, it's the wild card playlist. I don't understand
Yeah.
why they're doing this.
I agree because I don't like being forced into it randomly. I like it being a separate thing. I struggle to come up with one that would have been good for mine, which is why mine doesn't have one. I like the idea of them being separate. Of like you can choose like, oh, this is the nighttime playlist, or this is the daytime playlist, or this is the foggy and assorted crap playlist.
I wish they kept days separate from wildcards. Like time of day
Yeah.
and wildcards would be separate
Mhm.
things, and you could mix and match them. But that's just me.
Yeah, I think
I
they should do more with it.
I don't like the current system because every time I played wildcard, basically no one plays it. Just unnecessarily separates the player base, which is currently dwindling as well. So do away with wildcard, and instead of that, we replace it with what they have been doing technically, and that's like whenever the weekends come around, they basically put the wildcard up. Instead, we'll just do double reward weekend, because that was the point of the wildcards, is that they give double rewards. And you would basically also prune the map list as well. So instead of having the option, you just enforce it.
Okay. Would the new wildcard, if there is one, get a higher percent chance or something?
Yeah, it would.
Yeah. Okay.
And let's start off strong with the new wildcard effect, shall we?
Yeah. What is it?
I've dubbed it lovingly Sanguine Fog.
Ah. Which kind of fog is this closer related to, the ash bloom or just like traditional fog?
It's its own thing, I want to say.
Its own thing. Okay. How?
Mhm.
What happens?
So, kind of like the rain. It comes and goes in waves, and the ash bloom as well. It's like a fine red mist around the bayou, and it just sits there at the corner of your vision constantly.
Does it look like Blood Moon from Breath of the Wild?
Kinda. Yeah, kind of that vibe. Just a little bit less of the malice in there. But I'm gonna paint a picture here to the best of my abilities. You load in a match, right? You open your eyes, and you look around. It's that red mist around you. It's just kind of there. And you're sitting there waiting for your partners to load in. Silent. No ambient sounds at all. And you can't help but hear like the distorted sounds of gunshots in the distance, and the distorted sounds of hunters of old being killed or hurt or injured, just permeating throughout. And other than that, it's just silent.
I actually dig that. I like that a lot. That would be
Now,
annoying,
So it's just like
but
ambient
fun.
gunshots and crap?
like, you can very clearly tell they aren't real gunshots. It's
Like make them echoey or
weird.
something.
weird echo, like a weird
noises.
distortion to them. Same goes for like the downed hunter sounds that you'll hear. And they just sit at the edge of your audible range constantly, like almost replacing the crickets and the frogs that you would normally hear. And as you were to walk around the bayou with your party, you'll notice that almost like a red drizzle begins to start. It starts off calm, and then all silence that was there begins to fade away as you can hear the ground beneath you rumble and shake as hands begin to shoot up from the ground as these new creatures begin to rise. They look almost like hunters of old. Gunshots, guns and melee weapons embedded in them, and yet their legs just don't seem to work anymore as they crawl towards you.
So would this
You
be?
might fight
Oh, go ahead.
you might fight these creatures, or you might run. You might seek shelter. As you're going, you might come across a river or body of water. You'll notice the waters, which previously were just normal, have now run red. And as you continue to run, you begin to hear the chatter of ravens that once lived as they begin to fly, covered in fire, towards you. As they begin to attempt to peck at you. And you might notice in the distance, as you're fending off against these burning birds, these foul corvids, there's a horse standing there in the distance. Hasn't spotted you, or your party. But you've spotted it. And it's just behind the building that you seek as protection. And you keep crawling and getting closer to it, fighting off these foul fiends and these devilish beings of old that only could have been conjured by the sculptor or whatever else is out here. And you'll notice that this horse, as you get closer, has spotted you. It revs, and it falls at the ground, creating dust. It'll break into a sprint. You just barely step out of the way in time as it keeps going and bashes into a tree. Stunned, it'll rear back and look towards you once more. And it'll keep charging. Eventually, you and your party will get inside, and then suddenly, after a few moments, the fog and the mist will go back. The veil's lifted, and all that was outside has grown silent, as all of the AI are now gone.
That's very interesting. That's very interesting. Would the AI be actually real? Would it actually cause you damage?
Oh yeah, they're very real.
Okay. But they're only active during the heavy onset of the blood rain or whatever that was.
Mm-hmm. They only really take place and exist during the onslaught, basically.
I love the aesthetic. I don't know how well that would work in Hunt with the heavy onset side.
So mechanically,
with the AI.
it's just like it spawns more AI that's a little bit more aggressive.
Basically, it would spawn new AIs exclusive to it. Basically,
it sounds like it would be new AI that would be easy to avoid. Like even if they're aggroed on you, you could like run away from the crawlers. You could easily sidestep the horse. It sounds like.
Yep.
Yeah.
The ravens, I don't know how you would actually easily evade that, but
I don't know about the ravens. Those are the ones that make me go. I like them. Those would be so annoying after a while.
I would say ravens would just come out of the ground around you and fly away like normal ravens, giving away your position.
Oh yeah, just like sound traps.
Yeah, but it's like everyone's got sound traps now, so it's just kind of chaos.
You would see the ravens like on their normal perch, but if you get too close, instead of setting them off to, sound trap,
they bomb at you.
Yeah, they go to attack and bomb and attack you.
Yeah, I could be down for that.
Yeah, that could be neat.
That would be very interesting.
I'm definitely down for that. I like the idea of because I think that's kind of what I was talking about with I want something with AI that's more than just a new AI, which was like I think that's why it's like I like my PvE idea, but I think it's a bit much, and I think that might be a more natural way to incorporate it of just having it be a temporary thing that happens. So yeah, I could get by that.
They fade into existence and then fade out after a duration.
Yeah, the thing you said about I almost wonder if what Drake said about like are they real? Like, do you think there's design potential for like ghosts?
I kind of feel like there is, honestly, but they would need to incorporate a reason to be able to hit them and destroy them. So whether it's even simple like a reason to bring the electric lamp.
Wait, yeah, you hit them with the electric lamp, and
then
you can damage them if they're in light.
Okay,
so electric lamp looking at them directly, but what about something kind of niche like
flares and flare guns?
Well, it was that, but I was going to say spectral ammo or shooting a star shell through it or something. Do you think that would do anything?
Oh yeah,
like give us a reason to bring those other
with
things.
The star shell?
Yes,
maybe it's like wait, we could. What if we leaned into the ghost lore and it's like they had like if you don't have any light thing, you could find like the like a cursed object nearby and like shoot it or did like disarm it to get rid of it that way too.
Yeah, I like that.
Ooh, yeah.
I also like the idea if there's a ghost themed like event going on, you would see like as you come around corners and you're like walking through. My brain is picturing Port Rica at the moment. You're like walking across the platforms in Port Rica. You might see as you turn like a hunter running across a gap, a very short gap, where you're like, I swear I just saw someone run right there, but you didn't hear it. So like the audio would be the clue that you didn't hear them, so therefore they're not real. They're just ghosts. But you go over there and you look and there's nothing there.
Halo.
Yeah, but like
So-
they don't have to be transparent. Just make them like normal looking, but it's just the trick of the
And
event happening.
It's like clearly like a loop. Like they don't react to stuff; they're just running forward.
Yeah, but they like once they disappear out of your sight, they just vanish. They're gone. And so when you go look, like he should be here, they're not there.
So
Yeah, that'd be so cool.
we're gonna revisit this in a little bit. So first and foremost, get out of my head. But also,
Am I allowed to say that mine for this podcast was ghost themed?
sure.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, now it is. Now it is. I like it. Imagine spectral rounds though. Like it's a special cartridge with like a Ghostbuster juice in it.
They leave like a little green trail behind them.
Yeah, like a little it's the second tracer, but it's more of a cloudy thing that comes out behind it rather than the actual bullet being glowing.
Maybe that's like Rotjaw, like they drain stamina.
Ooh,
Yes.
but call it
you
like
like-
spectral rounds so it affects the ghosts as well for that
Yeah.
event.
Okay,
yeah.
All right, hold on. There was a very missed opportunity.
Mix of it is ghost.
Or maybe
kind of
maybe
ghosts.
that's just lightning rounds because it fits in with Rotjaw and her theme and these stamina
Yeah.
zapping, but then also
I do like the idea of
electricity
green
affecting.
lightning.
I agree with that too. Yeah.
I would also just like to point out the missed opportunity we both just had there. Instead of going, ooh,
wait.
we could have gone, ooh.
Ooh, yeah, you're right.
The,
Dang
Yeah.
it.
the missed opportunity.
Missed. Aha.
Oh,
MIST.
missed.
That reminds me of the time I tried to grab Fog, but I missed.
Oh my gosh. Shut up.
I will see myself out. Y'all have a good one.
Yeah, it was nice knowing you. Anyways, PAX. Because there's still plenty more.
Oh,
I will
right.
say we are at a bit. So we might have to
We're in
speed up just there.
We're in an hour and a half.
Oh no.
Yeah, just a hair.
I'm sorry for being over prepared. Bear with me here. I'm going to try and speed this up. So, with this event, there's a lot of new things happening. The first idea I had here is the addition of a new pact trait type, known as a bleed trait. These are traits that have both a pretty powerful upside and a pretty nasty downside. So there's a trade-off to taking them. They're not required, but it may alter your playstyle pretty heavily. And that's where we start with our first of the packs. Returning from the previous event, Foreseer. Now, the Foreseers have started to take hold. Their little cult has become more prevalent and more powerful. Starting with their base trait. Of course, we got a reuse of the Darksight range extension and more clear, precise location of clues and bosses. To be expected. That's going to be a little bit useful. Now, their burn trait. When downed, you may look around your surroundings in Darksight. You have seconds equivalent to stacks of the trait. So, like, one level is 2 seconds of Darksight vision around you. Kind of similar to the Bounty Sight, you just don't get the ESP part of it. The Bleed trait. Actually, no, let's do the conditional trait first, because that's a little bit more interesting.
Normal.
Yeah. Conditional trait, it's Viga again. Same thing from previous, you know.
Yeah.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Mhm.
Or if it was broken and we find out, then we do fix it.
Yeah,
It's Crytek,
then we...
look
Or
at
we
you,
maybe fix
yourself.
it. It's Crytek, yeah.
yeah, it's Crytek. They might not, they might. Now the
And
Bleed
then
trait.
everybody gets death cheat again.
Yay! Woo! My favorite.
No.
The Bleed trait. Darksight is no longer you hold down E and you can see. It's now a toggle. You can now enter Darksight without lowering your weapons, and you may fire and interact things while in Darksight. In addition, your Darksight range further doubles, and visibility is stronger as well. However, if you stay out of Darksight for 20 seconds at a time, once that timer is up, you get forced into Darksight for 20 seconds. Now, you are able to enter Darksight to take that edge off of that timer, but you do have to keep track of how long until Darksight sets in. So maybe there's like a vignette that gets closer and closer until it's time
builds
to...
up.
Yeah. But yeah.
That's
This
kind of
sounds-
interesting.
Yeah, I like this. The downside to being in normal sight, and it's got to be some sort of opt-in. But yeah, that can be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bleed trait. You can... Basically, taking the trait is opting into the whole experience.
When you
That-
first said bleed trait, my thought was like a trait that like bleeds. Like a
Yeah,
bird
that's what I
trait.
thought
So,
too,
like,
and I was like, what?
you pick up this trait and you have it for 5 minutes. But
You know, I could have come up with a better name for it, but
You know what?
I
That would
don't think the name's
actually...
bad. It's just I think it's interesting that like we both went to. Oh yeah, oh no, that still makes sense.
That Force-Seer one would actually make poison rounds really OP if you had poison sense.
Oh, because you have
mm-hmm.
the
It actually makes
okay.
Poison Sense have a point, which is really cool.
That's not true. Poison sense is best trait because you take Sparks poison.
Okay, now
and
say it again,
Stalker
but
Beetle.
straight-faced.
Yeah.
Stalker Beetle plus poison ammo plus poison sense could work.
Maybe if you had F and J too, maybe.
Maybe.
It's fun. I enjoy doing it.
Fair.
Now, in comes another new pact. And this one's kind of inspired by that baseball player that we got, that I still think is kind of not really fitting, but
Don't you diss me
building
on
off the
Fire
idea.
Bane.
I'm not dissing on him, I'm only buffing him, don't worry. This pact is called Sender. I couldn't think of a better name. If y'all got a better one, that please.
Sure.
Yeah, fair, yeah.
The base trait. All throwables are now thrown at high velocities. It also doubles the damage of thrown items like hatchets and throwing knives. It also significantly reduces the time it takes for the thrown items to travel because of the velocity they get thrown at. It also stacks with Pitcher, and Tomahawk adds a whole new aspect to it.
Assailant. Yeah, they rolled them together. Which, by the way, I did mention incorrectly in a previous one that Assailant helps melee damage. It does not. It just lets you chuck stuff. So there's my correction.
Okay. So wait, they rolled it into Tomahawk into Assailant?
Yep. Assailant and Tomahawk are the same trait now.
Didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Burn trait. In additional to having it, you may carry an additional consumable per stack that you have. Once the consumables are used, the trait is burned. So if you have one stack of the trait, you can have 5 consumables. 2 stacks, you can have 6. But once you throw that 5th or 6th consumable, you lose that trait point, or that burn trait.
Interesting. Okay. I'm not sure how that would work at the main menu. But
Yeah.
There would be some rework there to be done, but that'd be neat.
I'm gonna be real. Sender's burn trait was the difficult one. Everything else for Sender just worked.
Maybe it just lets you have one additional stack of a consumable you already have, so you could have 2 Hellfire Bombs on the same bar, same spot.
Yeah, that would work.
You know what I mean? So like your first, because you can have 3 of them, your first 3 consumable slots will be able to upgrade, quote unquote, to a ×2. So should you pick one up or pack mule it.
That makes sense. That works way better.
Something like that, just so they don't have to worry about UI reworks, which we all know they're not great with.
Mm-hmm. Now, we have...
No offense, Crytek.
Right? Yeah, Crytek, they tried.
They're focusing on other stuff,
Yeah, they tried. Maybe they'll fix it.
I don't mean to offend by saying that. It's just,
I have the hot take of I don't think the UI is that bad.
Oh, it's the main menu.
I've seen worse.
I don't think it's that bad.
I think it could be better.
Yeah, it could be better. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's usable.
I mean, yeah, it could be, but
it's just not great.
I think the thing that helps it a lot too is adding in the what's it called? Pre-made loadouts. I think that helps a lot because just like it goes a lot faster, and I think that was the issue with it, just the time commitment.
That's definitely part of it too. I wish it was a little easier to find weapons, but it's no big
Yeah.
deal.
Anyway,
Now, the conditional trait, pitcher. If a thrown explosive hits an enemy, it'll just detonate.
I do not like that at all.
Yeah,
No fuse, he just
Because you don't, because that's the thing of you just chuck it in and it just blows up real fast. Then
well, he said as long as it hits a
if-
player,
if it hits a player, it has to hit a player for it to do that.
like direct hit.
And that's difficult. Even with the increased velocity, that's difficult.
I don't know how difficult that would be, especially if you're increasing because it's the thing of right now you're not trying to do it most of the time, so it's difficult because you're not practiced with it. I think with
Mhm.
an increased velocity and stuff, if you have a second or two, especially with the preview window, that's not insane.
That's fair.
May I make a alternate idea for that one?
Sure. Sure, go ahead.
So a lot of it so far has been very offensive.
Mhm.
What if for a defensive, instead of that, what if Dauntless was upgraded to so that the range that you could so that the range that you could affect the thing coming at you is increased. So while it's flying in, you know what I mean? Like you could like in midair, because your distance is further, you have more time to hit F to defuse it.
Yeah, actually.
So you might even be able to
I
do
like
juice
that.
bottles with that.
Yeah, I like that. Okay.
Just got to remember to do it. I always forget.
Well, that's like the epitome of the think fast chuckle nuts too.
Right, but it gives you a little extra time because you can affect it. Let's just say 5 meters out instead of what is it, 1 or 2 meters?
It's 1 or 2 right now. Yeah,
Like right at your feet. Yeah,
that would actually work really well because that's really defensive.
yeah, it would definitely help.
And that also leads in to our bleach rate. All throwables are now thrown in a straight line. However, they will vanish at the end of the throw.
You mean like
So
the max distance that it would go normally?
So if you hit people with the explosive, then it goes boom, but you can't chuck it over walls and stuff anymore.
Correct. It is a straight line yeet.
Zero gravity throw.
Basically, yeah.
That would be interesting.
The
It'd
thing
be
with
fun,
it too is, wouldn't you? Because if you're throwing like throwing axes and stuff faster, wouldn't, instead of burning money on consumables, just do throwing axes?
Logically, yeah.
And knives, because why not?
Yeah,
That does take up a
throwing
slot
knives
too,
do
so.
throwing knives do motion damage. So
True.
Wild.
yeah,
Imagine, dude, that would encourage people are going to bring the freaking katana and throwing knives with that one, and they're just going to be, I'm a ninja, and just
and then,
irritate the hell out of me.
Well, and then
Yeah.
according to this event, we also have the longbow. Then
Oh, yes. So
Yo.
there you go. So you have a
Yo.
samurai.
longbow, Spitzer,
Yeah.
throwing knives, katana.
Katana, and then with my luck, they would add the freaking emote wheel to the game then, and that's when the Naruto run will come in.
Yeah.
And I just get to cry. I just get to cry.
Then they're throwing frag bombs and big dynamite bundles. It's just like, what the frick?
Yo.
That would change the game dramatically. Holy crap.
It's one of those things where like the low changes can stack real fast.
Yeah. Huh. By the way, random, but how long would the draw be on the longbow? Because the short bow or the hunting bow is like, what, 2 seconds, 3 seconds for a full charge?
It'd be like 4 to 8 seconds ish. Somewhere in
At
there.
like 50%.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the thing is, you have to keep in mind like the half draw and crap too.
Mhm.
True.
And longbows take a lot of force to actually pull back, so it makes sense for it to be a really heavy pull. But if you were to let it go early, it would still do a ton of damage.
Right. Yeah. Fair enough.
Do we have a third pact, or do we have?
Yes, we do.
Of course we do.
Okay.
Let's do it.
The third pact, it's kind of like a mishmash, if I'm gonna be real, but it's called Sinner.
Yeah.
Actually,
Wow. I don't know where that came from. Go ahead. Carry on.
Wow.
Carry on.
Wow.
I'll just
Okay.
gloss over. Let's go.
Yeah. So the first
Brutal.
base trait would just be Shadow Step, bringing that back. But
Nice.
also a tweak to it. You can now Shadow Step to 100 corpses, well, for 75 HP.
Okay, so a hefty amount, but you can do it.
Does it have to be enemy hunters or you hunter? It could be either.
I would say it'd be enemy hunters. It'd have to be.
Especially if the necromancer trait is a thing where you can already teleport to your allies.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how annoying it would be if you get to the boss layer and you pick up the bounty, and you're like, oh, somebody already killed the team here. They must have traded.
And then the entire enemy team teleports in on their bodies.
And then just like it snaps you with a longbow every time. You're like, what was that?
I think the stipulation would be you have to have it in your line of sight, similar to the necro.
Yeah.
So you actually have to be able to see it, not through a wall. You have to be looking at it.
Okay. Yeah. I think with that stipulation, I think it'd be fine.
Mm-hmm. Now the burn trait, it's just relentless. Nothing special.
So would you take relentless out of the world then for this event?
Wait, they made relentless a world trait?
It's a world burn trait, yeah, that you can find.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
okay.
Relentless, Death Cheat, and what's the last one? Shadow.
Shadow and Death Cheat were the ones I was aware of. I did not realize they made Relentless.
Give them the lootable one of Remedy. I really like Remedy being in every single event. Remedy's my favorite.
Yeah, we'll just do Remedy. That makes more sense. Whoa, what happened? All right. So conditional trait for the Sinner. When your HP is below 25, you'll rapidly heal back. In addition, you'll rapidly heal any burn damage. Right, because you had said what happens when you have like 50 and you go below 25. What happens? I think the heal will pause for a moment and then rapidly go back again. So similar to Marinara in terms of speed.
My issue with that is then that's a lot of like that kind of makes the specs garbage. Because you drain meds with it, and it's like, oop, sucks to suck now.
That's fair.
Yeah, that would suck.
What's that? This is the one with the downside. What's the downside? Because I think that might affect it.
So, that's conditional, not bleed. I think.
Oh, this is the adrenaline. Mm-hmm. Yeah, for one perk point, I think this is way too good.
Yeah, I feel like it should.
What if it's only after you get? What if it's you get like a super good region shot after you get picked up, and you get so it's like when you get picked up, you get a faster region shot and stamina shot for like 10 seconds. That way you can run away as opposed to just popping up resilience.
Yeah.
If you have resilience, why are you picking up adrenaline?
Well, if the trait gives you, the regen, why bother with resilience?
So, I mean, you're still getting stamina then.
True. But then what's the point of adrenaline?
You get the stamina.
Yeah, but
what we could
go ahead.
Just bring a stamina shot. But what we could do instead is that instead of it's just a really fast heal for that bar basically, and it caps at that bar. If you have a regen shot going, it'll keep going though.
That could be interesting, yeah. And then once you get to the top, I think there's something to be. I like the idea of it being when you get picked up because that's the big advantage of adrenaline, and maybe something else. What if it's when you get picked up, you get the Legion shot and the stamina, but then anytime you get shot and go to below the 50, it triggers 30 seconds of stamina. So you can always run away. And that kind of gives the idea of adrenaline too, because you're like, crap.
That would actually be a great adrenaline replacement.
Right? That actually plays really hard into the bleed trait too.
Guys, we might have just fixed adrenaline.
Yeah, honestly.
Every time you get shot, you just get 15 seconds of adrenaline or stamina shot. I mean,
because that'd be really good too. Because then when you're having just tune out, and you're like, whatever, I'll risk running across the field, and you get shot while you're heavy breathing. You're like, oh, there's slight hope for me now.
Right. Mm-hmm. That would actually be a great fix.
Yeah,
and it's adrenaline.
I actually could rework to adrenaline.
Dennis, please listen to this podcast. We have so many things for you.
Please.
It's only roughly 2 hours.
You do not have to pay me. Just take these ideas. Go.
Do it.
Shut up and take my ideas.
Yeah.
Yes. It also bleeds into the bleed trait. Any status effect that may ail you will greatly increase your movement speed and keeps your stamina full for as long as you're ailed. You cannot die while under status effects, but they will stay in effect until the player stops them if it's fire or bleed. So if you're bleeding, you will just sit at 1 HP until you stop it. but you will
I assume you mean from the bleed. Like if somebody shoots you, you're not like, ha ha.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. You'll stay at 1 HP from the bleed, but you zoom. So you basically become a glass cannon at that point in terms of
Panic.
zooming. Yeah, basically.
I don't.
How long does the speed last?
Until you basically stop the status effect.
So here's my thing with these.
Hmm.
I love all three of these, like the way these work. The only one I'm not sure on is the picture one, but like I think there's something there to make it work.
Yeah.
My only thing is with these, like it'd be such a radical shift in each one in gameplay. I almost wonder if these like need to be like an opt-in thing. Like they only like the burn trait, is it burn traits, right? No, not burn.
Bleed traits.
Maybe the bleed traits only work in the like opt-in contract.
Maybe. That would actually work.
Just because I'm like I'm a little bit nervous.
I mean, they
then,
could just have a
especially
separate toggle to like, I want to play in the event versus out of the event.
Yeah,
My thinking.
like I'm like there might be times where I'd want to play with like Remedy, but I don't want to play with people ninja gaidening at me with a longbow and a katana, and then
On one hit point, super speeds.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
that makes me think of that'd be freaking hilarious if you see somebody running and like hemorrhaging blood and you're flechette and you're just like, all right, well, goodbye.
Well, I mean, to be fair, the flechette still does physical damage. You just gotta.
Yeah, no, but it'd be like if they're running, you're just like you see somebody like dead sprinting and you have a flechette cannon, you're just like, well, I just get hip fire because I only have to hit you with one.
Right, yeah.
A lot of my thinking for also doing this is because of what Crytek has said in the past, where the packs are meant to be experimental. They're throwing stuff at the wall and see what sticks. That's why I decided to go. You know what? Balls to the wall. Let's see what people would think about these.
I like this event in the sense of two of them are kind of safe, and then one's like, what if we teleported?
Right. Yeah. It's rather memey.
Was a thing. Yeah.
What if we were really fragile?
Like they're kind of like, do you want the really safe one? Do you want the kind of neat one, or do you want the let's be wild one?
Yeah.
But you're just furthering the weeb agenda, though, if you include that one. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. Like
teleports behind you at 1 HP, bleeding with a katana. Nothing personal, kid.
And throwing knives and the longbow. Yeah.
Can you imagine the clips? Can you imagine the clips from this event?
It would be very entertaining. I agree with that.
Like just watching somebody like hurl themselves off, hemorrhaging blood, like turn around, tomahawk somebody, hit the ground and die. Just like and then like self-revive. You're like, yep, that's it.
Yep.
That would actually be really cool montages, I will say.
What if they just go into effect during? What if each one like Okay, wait. What if since we have the big blood moon thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if it's when the blood moon activates? You're not always getting the deck sight boost, but when the deck sight, whatever pact you're in, once the blood moon activates, you're forced into that. So like once the blood moon turns on, one team, like if you're going the foreseers,
yeah.
If you like the number 4, then you're stuck in deck sight for the duration of the blood moon. If you're the bleedy boy, you're now dead. You're like basically at 1 HP and sprinting. And if you're the other one, it's I don't know. We figure something out.
Wait, sorry.
The other one was the straight line throwing.
Yeah, but like that one wouldn't quite work, so we'd have to rework that. But what if it was the blood moon quicker set?
So are you suggesting that instead of the OP traits affecting you, it would just be whatever pact you chose, the blood moon duration would affect you? That'd be kind of an interesting mechanic.
That'd be interesting.
Like have something unique happen to you based on your pact during the duration of the new wild card, the heavy onset of the wild card.
If we're doing blood moon, what if we themed around like spooky monsters? So like the bleeding one. This is totally different. I'm sorry, but this is me.
It's good.
So what if like the like one is like werewolfy themed? So like that's where like you run faster, but you only have melee, and then like the move like if you bleed will be like vampire themed or the teleporting one. So then you're like you can teleport around to bodies or AI, something like that. So like each one's like themed around a spoopy monster.
That could be kind of
I don't know.
cool.
I feel
Yeah.
like that'd be a separate thing if this worked well, though.
I
I
mean,
feel like it
yeah,
might be straight, but I don't know.
Mhm.
that's the event
Because I
after this
really-
last one that he described.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
really
yeah,
like the
yeah.
idea of them radically changing it, but I think it needs to be reined in somehow. Whether it's
Yeah.
It needs to be
in
like
a
a
game mode
weekend
or
only
only
thing.
doing. Yeah, like it can't be like it's a weekend only, or you have to click into the. I hesitate to do weekend only because that's
I
some people
know.
might not want it, but
Mhm.
like you have to opt into the playlist, or it's only doing blood moons or whatever, right?
Yeah,
I think it could be really, really. I like the idea of having a radically increased thing though. I feel like it really changes crap up.
it could be fun. I just don't know if it would be 3 months worth of fun.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it'd be good. The other thing with that though is like that'd almost be like testing out like a new game mode. Like,
Yeah,
ooh, what if this was a thing we could do?
I feel like something
But-
something like that for a game mode. It would need to be when the player base is like much larger and consistently larger than it is now. Because I see the chart you
Well,
posted
'cause-
where we're currently in a massive dip.
I think it's well because we're dipping down a little bit because we're getting into this event. The thing I find interesting, and Dude and I were talking about this when it died. We reached really, really high with Rotjaw, which makes
Yep.
sense.
Yeah,
And then this is funny to me because like this lines up pretty much exactly with what we've talked about. Rotjaw ends, and we have a player base,
yeah, effectively.
and then the Blazeborn event comes back, and it pops up, and then it kind of drops down, and I think that drop down is closer to what we should expect for like the new average, and then this one shoots up to the same point, but it's dropping back down again.
I agree because if you look
And
at the last half of 2021, that's a fairly consistent line, and it's about
Yeah.
even with that drop off after the Blazeborn event.
The events have made like this weird like feast or famine type thing. with,
Yeah.
which even with all of this being said, when it drops down, we're still better than where we were at the state of 2021 by a significant margin.
Oh yeah.
But it is the thing of it shows we might want to be a little bit careful.
Right.
So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are the packs. Now
but
Also-
wait, there's more.
there's a lot more, man. I'm like halfway through this list. I'm so sorry.
Third
All right,
maze.
bullet point. Go.
So I've also proposed the idea of reworking how the battle pass system works. So instead of being just one long trek where you have to trek all the way through to get just the weapon you want, that's at the very end,
Mhm.
like the Lamat Deadeye, you instead can basically spec into it like a skill point deal, where it's 3 trees and you can put points every time you get enough for another
Mhm.
point into the tree you want to get. So you could just get all the weapons and just not care about the cosmetics.
I
Or-
hope that we did the battle pass system because we're both like,
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it sucks. Let's face it, it just
Light the
sucks.
shadows. Come on, Crytek.
Yeah.
You fixed it and then you broke it.
Yeah, you fixed it and then didn't continue it.
Yeah, but it was based in a kind of like system like this. One would be a new weapon. So it would also be based on 3 packs. So you would have Path of the Thrower, which its new weapon would be a javelin. New weapon, it's a thrown melee weapon. You can hold 6 at once. Assailant would give it an advanced throw. Pitcher lets you throw it a little bit further, and it stacks with Sender.
Would Assailant give it a better throw? Would it let you like stab more effectively with it, like a heavy melee or something?
But why not both?
Why not both?
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
yeah, that makes sense.
So it's
And-
it's almost like the like an RPG upgrade tree of how you buy stuff.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But for the event.
And-
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I like that.
And for the bleed trait for Sender, instead of it vanishing at the peak, it'll just drop instantly where it is.
Yeah.
So almost as if it hits a wall. Then it would be like lore, new ammo, skin, blood bonds, that type of deal. Another new weapon would be the Lee Enfield, which is a British long ammo rifle, first put into service in 1895. It'd be a competitor to the Lamat, or not the Lamat. Sorry, the what's it called? Labelle.
I like
Is
the
the Mosin
Lowdown.
the competitor to the Lobo?
In history, the Lee Enfield could have up to 10 bullets in its mag.
So
Which
what's
is-
the? Is it just? What's the downside or upside? I guess or both.
The upside is that in
'Cause the upside is
1895,
guns
this
or bullets. Sorry.
the Lee Enfield, the main thing with it is that you can actually use stripper clips, so it's a faster load. So it would probably do less damage. Maybe it would sway more, little more drop off, but you're able to load this thing faster
Would
because
this
it
be
has stripper clips.
would this be somewhere between the Labelle and the Mosin in terms of like price and use?
I would say so, yeah.
My
Okay.
issue is it sounds very similar to the Crag though.
Kinda.
Higher ammo velocity, really fast reload, and the downside is you don't tag things quite as hard.
And it's more expensive too. So it'd be
Yeah.
like a Crag equivalent for the Labelle, basically.
Okay.
Interesting.
Uh,
I'd have to see that in action, I think.
yeah, you can see it in action. It hit game block from.
Yeah. I mean, just shout it out, man.
We'll plug it
Yeah.
in the description because people can
Oh
check that out.
yes.
Hi, Scott.
Once again, it is a surreal experience to loading into Minecraft and being like, this is a lot. Like this is guns and stuff. What in the world?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, y'all got it. You gotta try it out one of these days, Baldy. We're going into beta soon. So.
The only reason I haven't is just because I don't know how to download it and like I'm too lazy to
All
learn.
you gotta do is S third.
That's all it is.
Not
That's
now.
all it is.
Not now.
Not now.
Yeah.
But it's really easy to actually get that going.
Sure.
I'll walk you through that later. Not now. I'm not going to do a whole advertising plug. But for the people that are interested, here's a little plug. World War II match-based shooter, all within Minecraft.
Yeah, it's like
Highly
it's
recommend looking up videos of it. But
playing
we're going into beta soon, so play now.
It's like playing Battlefield in Minecraft. It's fun.
Yeah. If you play now, you do get a coin for. Since we're still in alpha, you get an alpha coin. But when we go into beta, you'll get a beta coin, basically.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
anyways, back on track. The last path would be Path of the Sinner, which would have a Caldwell pepper box, which is a compact ammo, fast-firing pistol, low accuracy, especially when hip firing. Oh my goodness! But faster firing than the Spitfire, real strong sway when ADSing to compensate.
I find it interesting that you two complain more about the new guns being the new thing and hunt spam down more.
Oh yeah.
And you've proposed multiple semi-auto ones and a lot of weapons.
The pepper box in itself is not semi-auto. It is very much so a fanning gun. You can fan it.
Okay. Isn't
But
this just a Caldwell chain pistol though? I mean, not.
Kinda.
I know it's not like in how the gun actually works, but like game mechanically, wouldn't this basically be the same thing? More sway when you're ADS,
Less
reload
ammo.
issues, and higher bloom.
It would actually be a fairly easy reload, given the fact that it's like 6 barrels instead of just a revolver with chambers. Functionally,
It's the chain pistol.
it'd be similar to the chain pistol, but not quite the same.
Do we want more chain pistols? I don't want more chain pistols.
It would be like a combination. You know what? The best way I could describe it is imagine like the Nagant, but a chain pistol, basically. But there's only like 6 shots.
So the regular Nagant with fanning.
Yeah,
Scotty
basically.
Swift?
I love the
Like that
Nagant with
reloads
fanning.
quick? Yeah,
It'd be like a
what's
hybrid.
everybody's go-to fanning pistol?
Swift. Or not the Swift. Sorry. Spitfire.
Spitfire, really?
Mm-hmm. My
Spicy
go-to.
take.
It's my
Okay.
go-to medium or small slot pistol too. I love the Spitfire.
Well, it's definitely my go-to. It's the Nuemi and the officer are my go-to side aims, but definitely not with fanning. What do you got, Drake?
Nagant regular is like it just feels good, but let's be honest, I can't hit the broadside of a barn, so the So the
Yeah.
chain pistol is probably my typical go-to for fanning.
Okay,
That's
because I
fair.
go conversion or Swift. I think that's also fun that we all have different fanning pistols.
Mhm.
Anyway,
Let's see. More lore. The couple ammo types for the new guns as well, on each tree.
if you have it typed out, this is something we can drop a link for too, so this way people can
Like
if that's if they're
go into
interested.
detail, yeah.
Oh my goodness, yeah,
Yeah.
I do have it typed out.
Because
I'll
I
have
feel so bad because I am interested in. I'm like we're a little bit long right now.
yeah, not all of it's the same with all the adjustments, but and I have added some in post as we're sitting here.
Mhm.
But with all of that said and done, how much time do you have left, by the way, just to make sure?
I have about half an hour.
Okay, good.
Maybe.
I have enough time for flavor.
Okay.
With all of that said and done, there's also a rework to the bow and crossbow. Crossbow does more damage, less drop off, no longer applies the heavy bleed. In fact, it doesn't apply any bleed. It reloads a tad slower too overall, to compensate as well. The bow does a lot less damage, less range, a lot more drop off. However, it applies a heavy bleed and fires readies overall quicker. So flipping the two weapons and then removing the bleed
Yeah,
from
I
crossbow,
think that would,
basically.
as long as the headshot range of the bow is still decent,
Oh yeah, it would
I
still be
think that would
decent. I mean,
be
I do
uh, an
not want the bow with any heavier bleed.
an okay way to balance that. I think the bow's
yeah,
bleed as it is fine. The hunting one.
I like
fair.
the bow and the crossbow pretty well with it.
I would say
now.
longbow heavy bleed without the spinning arrow would be fine.
That yeah, I agree with that.
Like considering, I think if heavy bow does more damage than the medium bow, I think then having medium blade should more than that's going to have a pretty.
You know what? Yeah,
terrifying
that's a good point. If it
hit
does,
range.
if it's heavier damage, then yeah, maybe not. Maybe it's maybe the bleed is
And
the
it'd feel
same
weird
as.
to not give it heavier damage.
Yeah, maybe just a light bleed for the longbow,
Yeah.
because the normal bow has a medium bleed.
Yeah. I think the crossbow and the bow are in a pretty good spot. Like I'd be really hesitant to mess with them at all.
The crossbow needs literally something, just anything,
The
because
crossbow's good.
it's worse than the bow in every way.
I don't agree, but
As someone who mains the crossbow,
I will pull you guys into
feel
a. I will pull you guys into a shooting range at some point and have you guys duke it out crossbow v bow.
honestly, I'm down.
I mean, the issue though is if he mains the two and I don't play them as much, that's not exactly a.
I mean,
That's fair.
Even
true,
comparison.
But yeah, my take with the crossbow and bow situation, they should be flipped in terms of stats, damage, drop off, and all that, because statistically, the crossbow is worse in every category.
Sure, but this is balance stuff, not event stuff. So like this
Yeah.
would be a different topic.
yeah,
that's
that's
a
true. That's
different
true.
topic. Anyways, but yeah, with the rework to those two weapons being a part of the event, and with a new ammo type for the crossbow as well, I think it's time to get into the biggest and spiciest part. Let me set the stage. After finally making it to the boss compound, you are alone. Your teammates, they've perished fully after a rather nasty firefight, and that with the sanguine fog just absolutely kicking you down. You enter the boss building, and the first thing you notice is that there's a thicker black fog in here. It's very quiet, unnervingly so. You don't even hear a pitter patter. You look around and you wander. And you swear you see something out of the corner of your eye. You turn. There's nothing. Check the corner. There's nothing. You can't help but feel like you're being watched. You check your back and you swear you saw something move. But there's still nothing. You continue to creep around. And then you swear you hear breathing behind you.
You're gonna
You
call.
turn. You turn. And you just catch a proper glimpse of this warp, almost as if there's like this something bending the space around it, so you can see this thing move by and you track it.
Jeez.
You try not to move your head, as it's a little easier to actually track it with your eyes. and then you know what's going on. The boss has been stalking you and mocking you, and now it gets ready to strike as it creeps close, silently. You bash it away, it lets out a horrid, wretched scream, and you chase it. You do more damage. And at this point, you're about a quarter of the way through the bar, and it enrages. It begins to scream and wail these horrible sounds as it begins to drop these bug-like sacks on the ground that after a few moments pop and explode almost as if stalker beetles. And it moves around, and then it calms down after so many little mini explosions that you reckon couldn't be heard outside. You continue to fight it, and eventually you fell it. And that invisible carapace fades and melts away as you can see the mangled body of a bug-like human laying on the floor as you've just banished the new boss.
So basically, hidden source as a
Yes,
as a
that is
boss.
exactly,
I
that is
knew
exactly,
it.
exactly.
I actually really dig that idea. I like the idea of a boss that's like it looks like the choke cloud, but not actively moving, wavering unless it's moving. That would be really cool. And instead of the bugs though, let it throw choke bombs. But it's totally
Ooh.
quiet. So all of a sudden you just get the pop next to you of choke cloud, and now you're coughing and you can't aim straight. Let that be the thing it throws. Because
what is it? I'm a bit confused because I'm not familiar with the thing you guys are referencing.
What's the movie? Predator. The cloaking of the Predator.
Just a Predator? Okay.
But like a bug man, and he's more melee than zappy rifles.
Mm-hmm. But isn't that just the assassin? If it's bugs and spooky, isn't that just the assassin?
No.
Spooky cloaking and bugs?
Well, no, assassin doesn't cloak. He just goes into a swarm of bugs and zips around. This guy would be literally the entire time would be cloaked, meaning like Predator style invisible, where when he moves you can see him better. It's like warping whatever's behind him. It's like warping. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I understand the reference and stuff. It feels very close to assassin to me.
That's fair.
I think it's different enough. As long as you changed up the stalker beetle dropping to like throwing chokes.
What if it was the ghost instead?
See, I was thinking it was gonna be ghost at first.
We tied into the ghost. That's what
that's what I thought. Who's gonna call Ghostbuster?
No. Get out of here. But also the main idea is that he's very easily visible in dark sight as well. So that's going to be the main tool to actually fighting him. And that's where the Foreseers come in.
Okay.
So his existence, in my idea of the lore here, would be as a result of the Foreseers' fanatic obsession. They created this weird monstrosity of a human.
Let me guess, the boss's name is like Steve or something.
How'd you know?
Was Steve.
Roberto.
He's more of a horse.
He's heretical. It's the horse heresy. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Yeah, right. Well,
the horse heresy could have been easily averted if Magnus had just gotten a hug.
Dang it! I really like that idea for a boss personally. I think it varies enough from the assassin. Can he climb on walls and stuff like the hidden /spider /assassin?
Yeah, I would say so. The kind of idea is constantly jumping around, as silent as possible, like hardly making a sound until hit, in which it's a very loud, disorienting whir.
Okay, that would be very intriguing. I would like to see that myself. I'm also still waiting on Mothman, but Crytek doesn't listen to us.
I would adore Mothman. You kidding me?
Also,
give me a moth stalker beetle. Dang it!
Even if it's just the choke beetle, give us a choke beetle skin where it's a moth, please. That would be amazing.
I want it.
Was there anything else to your event, Third?
That was it.
Okay. Baldy?
Yo.
Anything that you wanted to cover before we end? For today.
Well, originally we were going to then kind of take all the ideas and merge them into one event, but I feel like we kind of made like 3 events here.
Yeah, I feel like we kind of sort of did that as we went. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. We built on each other.
Yeah, we've got like the 2 basic ones. We've got kind of the fleshed out version of the boss one for me. We've got the fleshed out version of the Blood Moon for third, and then we've got Ghost Event with Mothman or Wendigo for the fourth.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to do a follow up one with like new boss ideas and like flesh out the Mothman and Ghost and Wendigo and all this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I think this might be a topic we might just have to do
Revisit.
again because
Yeah. Well, we'll see the reaction to this one. So if
I
you're
hope it's good.
no matter you're right. No matter where you're watching or listening, please leave a comment, give us a like, whatever, anything. Just let us know what you think. If you like this, especially, and if you want us to carry on, and what are your ideas? All of that. Hell, I might even read some off next time. Just I gotta get some comments to do that.
Oh, we have to. 1 second. I do have something we need to do.
Oh, do we?
Oh,
yeah. We do have a homework that we have to do.
What?
All right, let me grab one.
Again? I already failed this homework.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Kiss, marry, kill with the hunt bosses. We're taking.
Yes.
I just grabbed one. We have a suggestions topic in the Discord. So you have to kiss, marry, kill a hunt boss.
Oh gosh.
Yes. I'm so happy you grabbed that one. Oh, thank you so much.
Literally the first one I said, and I regretted it halfway through reading it. But
Yes.
I was at that point.
That makes that worth it.
Happy. I'm so happy you picked mine. Thank you so much.
All right, Baldy, you
Alright,
first.
Me first. Oh God.
You're the one who brought it up, sir.
We're tweaking it slightly, but we are doing like best friend, like who would you like hang out with, who would you live with, and then who would you kill from the bosses.
Right.
Do we need a full category for Lockjaw? Since we have technically.
Well,
No, I mean,
that's best pet. That's best pet.
If we just do 3, and then somebody. So that'll be we need one more category because there's 4 bosses.
Which one would you have as a pet? How about that?
No.
Automatic Raja.
That's always Raja.
Who do you want as like your like friend? It's like your rival, right? Who'd be your rival then?
Oh well,
you're not allowed to kill him, but you have to like put up with him. They're like your work foe.
Gosh. Oh, that's
so probably.
Assassin's your work foe.
Yeah. Don't like the guy. He doesn't like me. It checks out.
I think I'm gonna go best buds. I'm gonna be best buds with Vincent, with the assassin. He seems like he'd have a fun little outing, go play paintball with him.
And if you really didn't want him to like hang out, he wouldn't mind. He could just, disappear.
Yeah, exactly.
Into the floorboards.
Like he likes personal space.
Yeah.
Roommate. I think I'm gonna go Butcher because I feel like you can kind of just avoid him. And
so far, you're going with my picks because I was gonna say Butcher for roommate because he might be able to cook.
I was gonna go roommate. No, I was gonna go roommate Scrappy, but like Scrappy will steal your stuff.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like, Scrappy's stealing your stuff. So I think Scrappy's gonna be my work nemesis because he steals my stuff.
Dang it! You're literally picking the things I was going to say.
And then I'm gonna kill the spider to make the arachnophobes happy.
Oh, just to make me happy.
Here's where I go.
I'm not afraid of spiders, but I don't really care to have them crawling on me at night.
That's fair.
Yeah, enjoy that thought.
Oh no!
I'm sorry if you're arachnophobic. I apologize.
I'm not, but that terrifies me.
I'm talking to the viewers, listeners.
Would you imagine like being in your bed and like hearing something and like you like click on your light and you just see like the spider like walking by in the hallway on their way to get like a drink of water,
but it's moving really slowly while the head's looking at you.
Yeah. Like,
no, thank you.
Hope you're sleeping well. You're like, oh,
well, not anymore.
Like I was going to say, I'm not arachnophobic, but I am now.
We've got lands.
Mission accomplished. All right, third.
Personally, my roommate would be Scrappy because the time you need like just the right part to do something, just ask him, he'll hand it to you. There you go.
I can see that too. I can see that. I mean, he hoards it all, but he'll fix stuff too, probably.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Or have the stuff to fix it.
He's a handyman.
Yeah, that's exactly my the image of him in my head. He's just like a handyman. He does things.
It's just with a mask on.
Butcher would be a pretty cool friend.
I mean, he's a war vet, so sorry, Scrappy.
Oh, it's even better. The PTSD thrown in there. No.
The whole exists coping mechanism.
Today on Hoarders, Butcher would be a good best friend, because I'd imagine he knows his way around meat. So he'd be a good chef, Honestly, pretty good to learn about, just cooking and all that stuff, and also probably would be pretty good around animals, farm animals
Wow.
specifically.
Do you guys know like the Japanese restaurants where you go and they cook the stuff like in front of you?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's like the butcher's pastime?
Oh,
probably.
Yeah.
He just wants to grill, man. And
Yeah.
all these hunters keep coming in.
Let him cook.
Let him cook. Dang it.
Yes.
That's a merch idea. We just get the butcher with let him cook.
Let him cook. That might be the name of this episode, actually.
Yes. Let him cook.
It fits on multiple levels.
New
Yeah, it
event.
does.
Let him cook. There you go.
Hunt Lowdown Trios, let him cook.
Yes.
I do want something about the events though, Nick. Like otherwise, people will be like, "What? What are they cooking for 2 hours?"
True.
We're cooking ideas.
But also just kill the spider.
Straight up. Yeah, murder that.
Your work nemesis then would be assassin, right?
Yeah, no, because screw the assassin. I don't like him. He doesn't like me. Just get out of my walls, dude.
You just had his cubicle and you just glance over, and just in your wall. You're like, "Oh, get out of there, dude."
Step on a bug, he becomes pissed.
The image of the assassin in a cubicle is something to definitely a thought of all time.
He's absolutely killing it when it comes to paperwork.
You look over and you're just like, I hate you, and then he just like melts into the floor and disappears.
He
Hey,
splits
I
into
really need
multiple.
Hey,
creates
Vince, I really need that
multiple
paper by close upside.
Go ahead.
Oh, because you make clones to do all the paper.
Yo,
Always the thing, but then anytime you ask him, you're like, "Yo, Vince, I need that report by the end of the weekend." He's just not there. There's just like a little bug there, just looking at you. Like, God dang it!
This cube is
that
just
report.
crawling.
need that report. He bugs you.
Yeah. It's Friday afternoon and he bugs out early.
Yes.
But it'd be like you tell your boss, and they're like, "He's really messing with me." He's like, he gets all his stuff done. Like, you need to just learn to work with Vincent.
It's like,
Freaking
hey, look,
Vincent.
listen, Third. Vincent is such a valuable employee. He does work that he does more work than
He does the
15
work of
other
3
employees
men.
combined.
Yeah.
Just let him cook, dude. Give him his space. But he works right next to me. You let him do his thing.
Yeah, but his space is 15 cubes because he can clone.
He
Yeah,
doesn't
he's
need a
always in
boss
my
layer
cube.
anymore. He's in the cubicles. He doesn't need a boss layer.
Right.
The office space is his boss layer.
No, just his cube has all the droopy black stuff that you see in the layer of the assassin,
It's like
clinging to the
walking
walls.
together.
But it's only
It's like
in his cube.
You can walk by it every day. When you come in, you're just like, "Oh, dude,
Not again.
clean up. It's time to ooze out."
It's got the worst smell in the world too.
Probably. I mean,
Oh.
yeah.
Well,
Vincent's the type of guy to just cook fish in the microwave.
And not bathe.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, on that note, I think
Someone right now who's listening to this is named Vincent and is just sad faced.
I'm sorry, Vincent.
I'm sorry,
I'm
Vincent.
so sorry, Vincent.
We
I'm
don't.
sure that Hunt really likes giving like the weird, like normal, historically accurate names. So we have like Vincent and Kevin. Really great.
Well, that's
All right.
2.5 hours worth. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll be back at a nebulous point in the future, hopefully sooner rather than later.
Yes.
And
Thank
I guess
you guys so
until
much.
next time, Drake, take us out.
Thank you, Third, for joining us as well.
Yeah,
That was
thank you so much for
very,
having me.
very
It's
fun. Good job doing
Uh,
all of your homework and me doing none of mine.
Yep. If you guys ever want me on again, I have no qualms doing the homework for two of us.
Heck yeah. Because Lord knows we need
Yeah,
it.
absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
I love third wheeling. Anyways.
You guys have a good one. Don't forget to bring your drugs into the bayou.